There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first episode of what could be a very long series. First episode of many, and instantly we have the first guest of many as well. Now we are going to see some familiar faces. Today we do have one. We're going to see some non-familiar faces as well on this channel, but we're also going to see the in between. We are going to have some people coming back as well, and I'm sure this man that we've got with us today is going to be another one. But well, before I go on any more about anything else, let's introduce him. I have in the podcast room with me, I've got the famous Rusty Balls.
Rusty Balls.
That one. I've got the Rusty Balls in the chat with me. Rusty, how is it going, my friend?
It's going good, John. How you doing, dog?
Mate, I'm doing good. And it's nice to kick off something like this with yourself, to be honest. We've known each other for probably, I'd say, definitely over a year or two. At least
been probably three.
3? I was going to say,
yeah.
I know it goes like way back to Revival days.
Yep.
Yeah, we're talking ages ago. Good times.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I know you from the RP world. For those people that don't know you, first of all, we're going to kick it off. The opening question of where did you get this Rusty Balls name from? Is there kind of any backstory to it, or did you just thought, you know what, found it on a generator and it works?
So, back in the day, I used to play that stupid game Raid Shadow Legends. This is not sponsored, by the way. And I was watching this guy on Twitch, and he started playing 5M. So I was like, ooh. He's like, I wanted to create a different character, blah blah blah. And at this time, I didn't really have a computer to be able to play 5M. So I was trying to come up with some names for him. I was like, hey, how about Rusty Balls? And he's like, no, that's not going to work, blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, bet. So when I finally got my computer all set up, I made Rusty Balls, and pretty much the rest is history.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. I won't get too much into your other character, because obviously there's another character some people do know you for. Personally, I don't know you as well. I'm not too sure if I've met that other character, but we'll get onto them very soon. So, obviously, Rusty Balls has done, from I think the day I met Rusty, he's done nothing but SADOT stuff. But then you became a very well-known and respected flight instructor at the FAA. And done an amazing job there, because I remember that there was me, Icelander, and Thiessen. I think we were like the top dogs, if you like, of the FAA at that point. And then we were like, oh yeah, we need some help. We'll get someone in. So we obviously brought Rusty Balls in because he was interested. And well, you took off. I mean, no pun intended, but you literally took every single piece of work there was, everything that we had. You were like, oh yeah, I'll do this. Don't worry, guys, I'll do this. And from every ticket we had open, I think we had 10 plus tickets open of people waiting, where we were backlogged, we couldn't keep up. All of a sudden, Rusty Balls came in, wiped the floor with us, and just showed us how it all works, and literally took people around the map on flying lessons, and a lot of people got their licenses, and a lot of people were very happy, and you got a big name from that. I mean,
I did.
Is that the whole flying thing, was that something you actually wanted to get into, or could you just see us struggling? You just like, yeah, I'll offer a little helping hand here, or is that something you actually truly wanted to do?
That's absolutely everything I wanted to do. Flying in 5M is totally different than anything else, but it's definitely a hell of a lot easier than a flight sim.
Yeah.
And I just had a lot of fun. And at first I was like, man, I don't want to train anybody, blah blah blah. This is way back when Curly rest in peace, dog, was around, he's like, because I had my own helicopter and they were having to rent helicopters for their for their flight stuff. And I was doing my jet cert and I was done with that. And I was like, hey, you want to borrow my helicopter? He goes, you got one? I was like, yeah, it's a Frogger just like you guys use. And he's like, yeah, cool. And so I was like, but I get to go with you guys so, I can see what's going on. So he was, doing his thing and talking and everything. I was like, you know what? This is actually kind of cool. I think I can get behind this and make something happen. And let me tell you, my first check flight or check ride, whoo, I thought, why the fuck am I doing this? I mean, it was bad. It was so foggy for me. The student said he could see just fine. I was like, man, I can't see anything, so I'm just going to trust you, and we'll go up and do your check ride. And so, I can hear the RPMs in the engine. I can hear when it's starting to slow down, when it gets faster. But like I said, I can't see anything. And in 5M, those flight instruments don't work. There's no, blue over brown, so it's like, "Fuck, are we up? Are we down? Which way are we going?"
Yeah.
And so I was kinda watching the GPS in the corner, well, it'd be that corner, and I was like going, "Hmm, alright." I said, "We'll just fly up the coast and, we'll be fine." And then all of a sudden, the RPMs got really high. I'm like, "Alright," and I was looking at the altitude, and it was getting really low. I'm like, "Dog, you gotta pull up. Hey, pull up. Dude, pull," and it was like 200 feet. I was like, "Pull up." And all of a sudden, I mean, we got down to like, I don't know, 8, uh, gosh, brain fart. We got to,
800?
8 feet, no, 8 feet.
Oh, 8?
And
Oh,
we,
okay.
yeah, we were like damn near on the water. I was like, holy fuck. And so he finally, got control of it again. I was like, all right, dude, you got to do this. You got to do that. The basic stuff, right? And, he actually, pulled his head out and he passed, barely.
Okay. That kind of reminded me of something. So when obviously we had the whole FAA thing in Revival, um, and for those that are either watching live or listen back on YouTube, Revival was the old RP city that me and Rusty first kind of came across each other in.
Well, we didn't really come across each other, dog.
Yeah,
That's kinda
you.
weird.
Hold I've just thought. I think we met when you realised I couldn't drift. Because if I'm not mistaken, you and your team had to scoop me up off the road like 8+ times a day to take me back to Don's because I couldn't drift, and I kept
I mean,
taking
that
out drift
that
cars
that
and
could have
things.
been.
Yeah, I think
Ah,
I can't remember if
well,
Drake
the
was
first
also a part of the team or not.
he was. So Drake was there way before I was,
So
and,
maybe Drake. Okay.
yeah, so when I first started, Miko was, my trainer. We went over to, Atomic, and I was taking a van off there, and it did a freaking barrel roll or some shit, and I think you were there.
Yeah, I would have been because that was my first mechanic shop I ever owned is
Yeah,
Atomic,
and
and
you had, like, 10 million cars in there.
yeah, okay, I remember that now. Okay, so now I know the time zone we're working on. So it was before
Yeah.
I got Atomic then, so it must have been with Drake. So I obviously, I love drifting. Now when I started on 5M, this was very early doors. Obviously, I think you should remember Don from Beakers.
Oh, yeah.
A fantastic mechanic, by the way. So shout out to Don. But he obviously he was running the scene up north. He was doing a fantastic job, and yeah, so we had that. If do you remember the finance system where you could go to PDM, put down payment on a car, and then it takes out? I think it was every like week or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we had that, except from if you didn't pay it, you didn't lose anything. It just took the car back. So I ended up being a cheapskate and paying that cheap 10% down payment, letting it run out, and then rebuying it again. So I kept doing that, and yeah, I mean,
Scammer.
Drake said in my chat I was Sailot's #1 customer, and he's not wrong. I think we counted in one day I had 13 tows from. So obviously, if you picture Polito, you've then got the Braddock Pass tunnel heading southbound, and then
Wait,
it was.
hold on a second. You said you had 13 toes? Where'd you get the other 3 from?
I mean, based on where I live, technically that's normal.
Oh,
So
okay.
if I've got 10, that's not normal. But we it was like if you're going southbound underneath Braddock Pass, right? You've got that first right hand turn to oh, I can't remember, not Sandy, the bit before Sandy. If you're heading southbound,
Grapeseed.
that's the one, Grapeseed. So
Yeah.
between that first turning for Grapeseed on the right hand side, heading southbound, and Beakers, between those two locations, I had
Mm.
13 calls that I had to put in one day to take me back to Beakers for Don to repair my car. Don earned
Oh
that
my.
day over 20k out of me, and Sadok got over
Damn.
40 out of me because I kept tipping the driver.
Right, right.
So
Damn.
that, yeah, that
That
was.
definitely wasn't me, but I mean,
I'll let you know when it next happens. But
right.
that was the birth of the drifting days. That was what kind of got me hooked. It's like I'm gonna get better at this, and to be fair, I did. Because I have to say
Yeah.
I'm fucking world class now. But
World class.
mate, it was great. But they were some good days. But anyway, back to the point. I remember when we had the FAA in Revival, we had the. Do you remember the Pluto airport?
Yes.
Was it you that
No,
had that? There was someone that
maybe.
took a student out, and they were heading to the Polito runway, and I
Uh-huh.
think it was just before the runway the plane went down because it was extremely foggy and it was terrible conditions and you couldn't see the runway. Remember, it has those high like entry lights as you go down to
Yeah.
it as well. I
Uh,
don't know if that was you or not, but there was definitely we had an instructor that ended up with severe burn marks and everything, and yeah, they ended up being toasted in this incident. I think it was myself and Teeson that hurried up there to see what was going on because I think he was a trooper at the time.
um, oh, no, no, it was that grapeseed, I believe. Are you sure it was? Because if it wasn't grapeseed and it was, Polito,
I know it
that
was a
would have
short
been,
runway up north.
yeah, so if it was Polito out there, on the water, yeah, you're right, those lights at the beginning and the end are super, super high,
Hmm.
and you had to, make a perfect approach on that, but I think that one was with Cal.
Oh yes,
Yeah, yeah, and
yes.
so he was coming in a little hot, and he thought he's like, "Oh shit, I need to, accelerate and gain some altitude." And right as he started going up, he clipped the those lights, and down we went into a ball of fire.
Yes, that was it. Actually, yeah, that's the one I remember because I remember Teeson saying, "Look, I've got to send you up north. You've got to go and investigate what happened." He's like, "One of our instructors just went down, and there's a student that's injured now as well. We need to find out what's going on." And it caused chaos, but that was brilliant. I have to admit, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I won't
Um,
tell you about the one in Grapeseed then.
oh no, come on, you got to.
Oh, okay, so so I was trying to land this. Was I flying? Oh, I was doing the mail job, right, with fixed wing,
Mhm.
and I was coming into Grapeseed, and I hate Grapeseed, but I figured it out finally. It took a while, but so I finally was landing in Grapeseed, and I was going way too fast. I couldn't slow down fast enough, and that it's all gravel and dirt, and it just bounces you all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, I broke lots of axles on that damn runway, but I was getting to the end. I was like, "Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to slow down." So I tried to accelerate, but there's not enough room on that runway, and I just went straight off the damn runway down in that little gully into this big ass rock. Kaboom! And yeah, Thiessen came up there and got me for that one. Yeah, good
Jesus.
times.
To be fair, that runway is quite difficult,
Oh
especially if you can't
shit!
see the tops of the trees. You've almost got to do like a military landing, like you see, like they do on like battlegrounds, things like that, where you got to come down
Right?
literally almost vertical and then just
Yeah.
pull up last second and hope it all works out. But
Exactly, yeah, and there's
and
so many, obstructions around that runway too, and it's like,
yeah,
"Damn."
yeah. I mean, like you said as well, you're on 5M. You're not on a flight sim, so
Right.
you pulling up last second, you've got about a 30 and 70 kind of chance that you might land it. You might be safe. You won't cause like
Maybe.
smoke out of your engine. Yeah, it's a big maybe, and it was just that was one of those painful risks. But
Right.
I
I
mean,
actually landed at Nimbus out there.
oh really?
Yeah,
Was that the
couple times.
biggest plane you landed at? There?
Yeah, that's the jet. Yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
That's that's the biggest one. It was scary as hell, but I managed to nail it after a couple attempts. But
I feel
it
like
happens.
a Titan would be a challenge, but I feel like a Titan could probably land there. You know, the quad, the military plane.
Yeah, yeah. Is it the one that has
It's got the four
the
propeller engines.
and they go up or down or whichever
No,
way?
no, no,
It's
no,
like a
no, no.
helicopter straight up.
This one is like a C-130.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
Gotcha.
I think
Wait,
landing that would be quite good because that has quite
wasn't
a
that
quick takeoff time.
right? What was that one that you were flying in Revival? Thing was a fucking monster. Whenever you put
Yeah,
it away, you fell like 30 feet out of the sky.
it was the Antonov, local version of the
Yeah,
Antonov. Yeah, that was the cargo plane. I remember that.
that
Whenever
thing was huge.
what I tended to do is because I was admin at the time, I used my admin privileges, and I'd sit there watching like T-Sun stream and everything like that, and I'd wait and be like, right, okay, so because he was dealing with something in the Vargos territory, I think at the time, and the Vargos territory, if you take off from the side runway, if you take the low like ascent out of the city, basically, you'll pass right over there. So I was like, right, I'm going to do that. So I quickly messaged him on Discord. I was like, right, tell everyone that there's going to be like a cargo plane flying around and they're going to be like exporting some stuff. He's like, oh, okay, awesome, no worries. 2 minutes later, this big old plane just goes cruising over. And the thing is, the thing's that big, it's got 8 engines on it. Because
Yeah, it's
they're
huge.
all in twos. But yeah, that thing is an absolute monster, and you can only take it off and land it at LSIA. You can't even do it at the military base because there's things that still clip the wings. So there's only
Yeah,
one airport you can land that on. You can only take it off from one runway as well. So it's just, yeah, it's not
yeah,
ideal, but
yeah. If you can't take off from the damn army base there, I was Zancuda. There we go. I was brain fart. If you can't take off from Zancuda, there's no way you're landing that thing in one piece at Grapeseed.
oh yeah,
Not a
no,
chance.
no, not. I don't even think you get one wing on the runway with that plane.
Right.
That thing was huge,
Yeah, I
but
remember you flew over Sandy airfield. You're like, "Hey, I'm coming in, or right over the top of you. I'll try to come down at like I don't know, 100 feet or whatever you're trying to cruise in at." And it's like, there it goes.
oh, is that the little propeller stunt plane thing I was in at the time? I
No,
think
no, it was that great big
that was
cargo
that
plane.
big one, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I know I've done a flyby over him where he's parked at the front end of the runway where the hangar is, and he's kind of
Mhm.
like side on with the runway, getting a nice cinematic down the runway. You can see this propeller plane suddenly coming at you, just non-stop, and then last second I've pulled up, so like just over the top of his head. And
Damn.
actually, it's a really nice little clip. I have to see when we get him on here at some point. I have to see if he can find that clip and we'll play it. But yeah, it looked really nice. I think that was also part of his intro at one point. Um, but that was really nice moment. To be fair, there were some nice planes that we were able to fly back then as well. Especially that I
Right.
don't know if you remember the was it the Sierra? Is it S22 or something like that? The SR22,
Oh,
the
yeah,
one
yeah.
with the
That
working
that little
flaps.
is it that little stunt plane
Uh,
or no?
it was like the stunt plane. It had the fixed gear, and it had it's when you pressed F instead of it doing like anything like ejecting you or anything like that. That was actually your flaps. No, it was G. Sorry, when you press G,
Gee,
which would
yeah,
normally
yeah.
be for gear, it was your flaps
Uh,
instead, and it reduced them down to slow you down. I think it was the Cirrus
mm,
22 or something like that. I think it was called. It was like 120K, most expensive plane there was. Um, but that was quite nice to fly.
huh, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
obviously,
Yep.
you've done, a lot of flying, and I have to admit, I mean, it's paid off. Um, because we've had a lot of good memories and things like that. Were you there when we done the Oh, I can't remember what we done it for now. When we had the jet flyover, me, Teeson, Callum, Carissa, and oh no, I've forgotten his name. There's another cop.
Yeah, yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh
Rains. Was it Rains?
no, it wasn't Reigns. No. Oh, he's such a cool guy as well. I'm actually annoyed that I can't remember his name. Oh my god.
Maybe he's the guy that lives here in Oregon with me, or not with me, but he lives in the same state.
See, my
Now I can't remember
brain's
his. fucking name.
My brain's telling me it begins with either a B or an R, but knowing my brain, it's probably going to begin with like an
Mm.
A or something like that. It's probably not going to be what I think it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um, but I have a funny feeling he could have been SWAT and a K9 unit or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, I know that Thiessen loved him as well. They all got along, but yeah, I don't know. I can't
I
remember.
wish I
But
could remember that guy's name.
that was actually a very interesting and funny situation though, because when we had that event going on, we done our flyover as we normally would, um, and then yeah, because everyone was on the pier, so we done our flyover in our like I think it was missing man formation, I think they call it.
Yep.
And then after that, we had to like just circle the entire state for a couple of laps, while everyone then sort of convoyed themselves to the place with all the steps, all the firefighters can. It's the 9/11 thing. That's what it was. 9/11
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
memorial.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
because
that was
then
actually my number one clip on TikTok was
already.
that the flyover and the marching down to get on the pier, and all the Safford guys were like, "Holy shit! Look at Sadot. There's so many of them."
Wait,
And
is that the revival one?
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Oh, you're gonna have
And
to
plus,
link that to me. I'd like to see that.
yeah, just go to TikTok dot whatever the hell it is slash Rusty underscore balls. I'll
Okay.
send it to you right now.
Yeah, no,
I got you. I
that's
got you, dog.
lovely. I'll put that in the old Twitch chat as well. That'll be a lovely little plug there. But yeah, no, I remember it was an eventful time because what had happened was once everyone had got to the is it like school or something or observatory or something like that. Once we all got there
Oh,
anyway,
yeah, the amphitheater thing.
that's the one. When we all
It's something Bowl, Vinewood Bowl?
Vinewood Bowl, that's the one.
Yeah.
When we all got there, before people started running up and down the stairs, the Jets put on another little show. Or we just started flying around, just putting on shows, kind of like doing these daredevil things, like flying towards each other, then one going left, one going right, kind of thing. And well, I didn't realize that the cop that I can't remember the name of had so Callum had done his fly and he's like, right, I want to go down land, I want to do the stairs myself. I was like, okay. Thiessen was kind of in the same mindset, and then it was just me and this trooper left because Carissa, I think, had actually accidentally ejected out of her plane,
Mm.
and yeah, so it was just me and this guy left, and he ended up doing the loop, and I didn't know he was doing that.
Oh,
So
no.
as he went over and came around to straighten out again, the moment he straightened out, he thought, he was like, I swear something just hit me. And thankfully, the lovely desync saved me a bit because on my screen, I had absolutely wiped him out.
Oh,
However,
damn.
because of desync, I was nowhere near him. So on his screen, he was like, yeah, it wasn't you. I've hit something else. I was like, yeah, it must have been something else, man. I don't know what's happened there. I've just flown
Right.
off because I was like, I know it full well I've hit him. And then, yeah, all of a sudden we have this just burning plane just rolling down the cliff after it's just had a mid-air collision. But it had some
Right.
funny moments in there. I know we should be, remembering, the people that sadly lost their lives, but you've got to have your laughs where you can. And that was a funny little moment. And then obviously the big stair climb came, and that's where you got your clip
Yeah.
from. And well, by the sounds of it, what a clip it is as well, getting all the views and everything like that. But was that like what role were you in SADOT when that was going on? Were you assistant
That
foreman at
I
that time?
was no, I think I was a just supervisor at that point. I'm pretty sure, yeah, just supervisor.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing like the entirety of the SADOT team were kind of like all back in that. They're like, yeah, okay, we want to go to this event, we want to do this.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
go
we were
show our
forced
support.
to. We had guns held to our heads and said, you motherfuckers get your dress shit on, and you're going to the pier for this." No, that's not true. We actually used all of our vehicles to help block the intersection for the convoy going down there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we had Tahoes, and we parked all the Tahoes down below in the parking lot, and then we walked up, and that clip that I sent you shows. Oh, the first one I sent you is us walking there, and you could hear. I think it was Foyt.
Hmm.
talking, and or no, oh crap, what was his name? Chief, that guy.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, holy crap, look at Sadot, and and so there's that clip, and then the very next clip is the flyover.
Okay, well, for those that don't know what we're talking about right now, the links have been posted in the chat, so you can go check them out there. Yeah, they are now posted, and they should be in the chat. They are indeed. But yeah, that was a great night. To be fair, that was good fun, and well, a lot of I'd say practice and time went into that, and it actually
Oof.
paid off quite well. So it was a very nice event indeed. But moving on to some other stuff then about obviously Rusty. There seems to be so much about Rusty, but that's the person that I know. So the history
That's the
of
person
Rusty.
I know too.
I mean, yeah, true. The history of Rusty is, from what I know, is mostly revolving around Sadar. Obviously, like I say, you've done your FAA thing. But what kind of pushed you to go? Okay, I'm gonna do towing for this character. This is what I'm gonna do. This is how it's gonna happen. Like, how did Rusty come about?
So back in the day, back when I used to watch a lot of 5M, I saw I think it was Bubba actually say that roll up on some scenes and stuff. I was like, I used to tow in real life way back when. I was like, that actually looks like fun. And I thought to myself, what's a good way to, be able to get to know a lot of people and learn the map? Because I'd never played GTA 5 ever. I've only played 5M, and so I didn't know where anything was. I just kinda had to figure it out, and, I learned all the highways and everything because taking the highways is the easiest way to get around, that whole state. If you can figure out which way they all, turn and make their connections, it makes it a lot faster for you to get somewhere, instead of going through the city and having to stop at all the fucking red lights, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, but I was like, "Yeah, that's definitely something I wanna try," and to tell you the truth, so I put my application in, and uh, Bubba had actually called me,
Mhm.
and I had no clue how to answer the fucking phone. So I'm like, "Hello, hello." He's like, "Call me back when you figure it out." I'm like, "Fuck, okay." So I figured it out, and I call him back, and he's like, "Is this Rusty?" I was like,
Rusty Balls.
"Yeah." And he goes, "You want to come in for an interview?" I was like, "Absolutely." And after it was him and Akira, both interviewed me, and it was a pretty funny interview from what I remember. That was a long time ago though. And he's like, I think it was later down down the road, like maybe a year or two years later. Bubba's like, we almost didn't even call you because of your last name. I was like, what do you mean? What about my last
Oh,
name?
yeah.
Yeah. They thought, oh, he's that's a real memey name, blah.
Mm.
And they didn't think I was would take everything seriously. Shit. I rocked that shit.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I still know some people that obviously don't know you for you, and they hear that name and they think it's just a joke or something. They're like, and then you've got to like explain to people, it's like, no, it's not a joke. He's had this name for ages. Like this is
Oh
him.
yeah.
Um,
100%.
that's just like
Since
John
day
having the last
one.
name of Davidson. It's exactly, it's a serious name. You got to treat it with
Yeah.
seriousness. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, Rusty's been around a long time, doing a lot of towing as well. Like there's
Oof,
no way that you've
lots.
got under like 10,000 tows in what I'd say your kind of career.
Um,
I'd say you got to
yeah,
have more than
I
that.
have no clue.
Yeah,
I
because
have no clue.
you put in a lot of time as well. You didn't do short shifts either. I noticed like you were around quite a long time as well. And
Yep,
I'm pretty sure you covered a lot of the prime times as well, which obviously
I
tend to be when
did.
Callum was around. And obviously,
Right.
I worked a little bit here and there on a couple of different characters for Sadar while you were there as well. And yeah, things
Yep.
got chaotic, but you guys handled it amazingly. It was absolutely quality. But yeah, it's good to know that obviously Rusty's had such a good sort of career with Sadar and everything like that. Is Rusty still a thing? Is Rusty still somewhere in a city, or is Rusty like no more?
All right. So let's see here with Rusty. the new server I've been playing on, New Day,
Hmm.
uh, when I first put my application, because I put my whitelist application in 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I was like, "I just wanna see if I could actually get in," because people were like, "Oh, man, New Day is really hard to get in, blah, blah, blah." I was like, I've never filled one of these things out. Let's try it." So
Yeah.
I filled it out, and they're like, "Well, we're gonna accept you, but you have to change your last name." I was like, "What? Hmm." And so that's why I think I never went and played, at New Day. And then I figured 2 years later, so, let's see, right before I went to New Day, I was in TARP, the Academy role play with,
Hmm.
the Officer Messer,
Okay.
and, I tried to get on state out there. I filled out the application, everything. I went on a couple ride-alongs with them, and I didn't get, even accepted for a fucking interview, and I put all my experience and all my clips and blah, blah, blah. They're like, "Make it as detailed as possible." I don't think I could have got any more detailed than I did, but whatever. And so I was like, screw it. And in TARP, well, that isn't TARP. So I made a Crim character, and his name's Diggy or Digquan Diggs,
Okay.
but his friends call him Diggy, and he sounds
A lot like this, dog.
so.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I like
yeah.
that.
So he's a black dude, and he's a lot of fun. Uh, and so I left Harp and went to New Day, and I brought Diggy straight over, and I know it's gonna, confuse you and some of your fans over on your channel because, one of your best buds is, named Diggy, so, yeah.
Yeah. I, d-
So,
I, d-
maybe I'll just call him Daquan.
I,
Yeah,
d- I
there
did
we go.
think
I'll
I
just call
did
him
think
Daquan.
that when I heard about you had another character that was called Diggy, I thought, oh my god, I can already see confusion. Like it was already hitting my brain. The moment I heard about it, I was like, oh god, this is gonna be confusing. Um,
Right.
but yeah, no, it's all good. But it's
But
good to go on.
he's just a drug slinger, and, he's been going
Okay.
around, breaking into cars and stealing cars, chopping cars, just all around crim shit. And, he's been a lot of fun. I thought for sure that I would never play a crim ever,
Mhm.
but it's actually kind of exciting,
I
you know?
mean, yeah, true. Because you're almost limitless in a way, and plus everything you're doing everything to you're kind of, how do I explain it? You're pushing everything as far as you can get it. So you're really kind
Oh,
of
and
pushing the
then some,
limits. Yeah,
right?
exactly. So your heart's always racing, the adrenaline's always there, and it's like
Oh,
the moment
yeah.
you see the flashing lights, it's like, crap, right, gotta go.
Wow, I don't have to see the flashing lights. All I have to hear is that fucking arrow and
I mean,
and
yeah,
then the
that's true.
woo. It's like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
fuck, fuck. Now what?
time to go.
It used to
Yeah.
freak me out. Now I stay fairly calm, but I still suck at driving.
Oh,
So
okay.
John needs to give me some driving tips.
Well, okay, yeah, we'll see what we can do with that. We'll have to
Mm,
get together and get some driving sessions going.
right?
I'll teach you to drive. You teach me to fly. I'd say that's a good deal. I'd say that works.
You already know how to fly, dog.
I mean, to a certain extent. To a certain
I
extent.
mean,
It's been a
all
while.
the
It's
slow
been a
stuff
while.
I can fly. Yeah, it's been a while for me too. All the slow stuff I can fly fairly well. The jets. I used to be able to take the F-16s out.
Oh yeah.
And, let's just say, you make one little tiny mistake with those and everybody's dead. And I was flying around with this guy, and we were coming, he goes, "Oh, let's go over to the aircraft carrier." I'm like, "All right, you go ahead and lead." And he started going, and he turned way sharper than I thought he was going to, and I ran right into him, just freaking exploded, both of us. He goes, "Is there any parachutes in here?" I was like, "Nope, you're pretty much done, dog."
Jesus. I hope that played when that happened as well. I hope that played.
No,
Uh,
it certainly did not.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, you can't take your hands off them controls, so I don't blame you for that one.
Oof. Right.
So,
Yeah, so, yeah, I've had lots of, incidences with jets, with the fighter jets, because they're so fast and they move so quick, but if somebody else does something quicker in front of you, like you were saying with, that 9/11, thing,
mm,
where in your eyes you totally wrecked Easton, but in his, you were fine.
mm,
So,
yes, it
yeah.
Yeah, I do see what you mean now. Now thinking back to that, it can be absolute chaos and get out of hand very quickly. Um, but yeah, I mean, revival and everything like that. Obviously, when our all like let's say our whole group was together, because I'd like to say that everyone that RP'd in revival, we were all like one big group, um, and like almost like a family kind of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously people split off, went different ways when revival. I think it was when revival went into like 2.0. It was about like 3 months in. I think was when people start peeling off, and obviously like
Yeah,
things
there was
went a
like a
little
mass
downhill.
exodus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling it was to do with some people being banned, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I know there's some big controversy going on. But like since people have gone their separate ways, and since you've obviously found your own path as well in different cities and things, how do you feel about the general like RP world? Like, do you feel happier in it since like we're comparing to revival days, or we're just comparing in general in your whole like RP career, if you like? How do you feel about the modern day RP of now compared to when you started?
Well, it's definitely a lot different because I never really RP'd before in my life, except well with my first wife of 13 years. That was all role play because man, that was miserable. And I've said that before, and there's different clips and stuff of me saying it. Uh, but anyways, where I started from and where I'm at now are like night and day. And when you start um, progressing your character, I'm always the guy that's like uh, super impromptu. I don't try to plan anything. Everything that happens, I try to bounce back and roll with it. And Rusty's a lot like me if he's not me. And well, it's me amped up by like 10.
Okay.
And so the shit that Rusty comes up with, I don't even know where I get it from. It just falls out. And people are like, "What the fuck?" Like the whole spoon thing, right?
Hmm.
So we'll get into that later, I'm sure. But he's very well known for the spoon. And
I think since we're on it, I think it needs to be explained now. I think we've got to get into the spoons.
all right. So back when I was working construction, I was a mixer truck driver, concrete truck driver. And this kid, well, I say kid, he was like 18, 19 at the time. I was like 23, 24. This is a long time ago. And he came in the job shack one day and he goes, "Hey, get a spoon and eat my ass." I was like, "The fuck? The hell is?" And I was like, "Bro," and I hadn't worked in the concrete industry, and that was like years and years ago. This is back in 99, 2000, 2002, maybe. And so it's been fucking 20 years. Damn, I'm old. And I was like, "Oh," and I remembered that. And I was like, "Oh, I got to somehow figure out how to incorporate this with Rusty." Yeah. And so just one day we were messing around in the tow yard there. And I think it was Lopez or maybe it was John Clammer or
Mhm.
some. It was somebody. There was maybe there was a group of people. I was like, "Hey, get a spoon and eat my ass." They're like, "The fuck." I mean, that's pretty much everybody's reaction to Rusty, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't know how it all. Yeah, so that's how it originated. But then I went into the store because I did a lot of hiring for Sadot,
Mhm.
and especially after I went to INRP because I basically built Sadot there,
Yeah.
and I did a lot of interviews there too. And so I know the original one was in Revival. And let me see. It's been a while since I've had to repeat it, so let me see if I can remember it. Oh, the very last question, right? After everybody else had already asked their questions and everything, I'm like, "Everybody good? Everybody got any more questions?" They're like, "No, no, no." I said, "All right. Here's the most important question of them all. What table utensil is your favorite? A knife, fork, or spoon? And it can only be one. And it has to be one of those three." And they're like, a knife." I was like, "Nope, knife is the wrong answer. It's always spoon." because when you go to eat that ass, you don't want anything sharp or pointy to tear the ass. Because if you tear the ass, I like my meats rare to medium rare, a little bloody, but my ass, it's got to be nice and tight, no blood. And they're like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Yeah." So, they're like, "Well, Rusty, you can still hurt somebody with a spoon." I was like, "Bro, it's not a fucking bowl of ice cream. Nice, gentle, easy scoops." And so then there was a little oath after that, and half the people couldn't even get through that without dying. And and the rest of them were like, "The fuck am I getting into?" I was like, "Now, are you sure this is what you want to do? This is who you want to surround yourself with? I mean, let's go." So it
Jesus.
was, yeah, it was a thing.
I mean, it certainly turned out to be a good thing, that's for sure.
Yeah,
that's definitely
yeah.
for sure. But to be fair, you brought up something there that completely went off the top of my head. To be honest, INRP, I completely forgot.
Oh yeah.
Obviously we were
I
both in there at the same time, and I completely forgot about that. To be fair,
Jeez, John.
I know it's terrible of me. I can't even
Yeah.
remember what I'd done there. I know I owned a mechanic shop with Drake for a period of time, and then I just kind of left it to Drake.
Right,
I
right.
think it was East Coast Customs. I'm not too sure where I was before. Oh, I was in Mirror Park before that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember when I think you were in the process of trying to set Seda up because I think they had tried and just no one would do it, so they needed someone to come in and like take this over. And I think that's when you came in.
Yeah, so
Um,
they had, Rebel Towing and,
that was it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Rebel Towing, and it was a it
It was a state.
ve very unorganized.
Yeah.
And, I'm not gonna fault the guy that was, because the guy that, quote, "owned it," because in, INRP, you actually own the different businesses, even a government agency. And so, the guy that was running it, like, disappeared. So, whoever the supervisor was at the time, his name was Russ. I think his name's Ru yeah, Russ. He was attempting to, do it. He just walked in there and said, "Hey, can I get a job?" He's like, "Sure." There's a truck, blah, blah, blah. And the trucks, they're all right. They weren't the best. They weren't the greatest. I was just used to Revival all the time, right? Because Revival was the first city I've ever played, and I was in there for, 2 years or so. And once Revival closed down, I went over to INRP, and I weaseled my way in there, and started talking with the admins and stuff. And I was like, "Hey, this is what I want to do. Can we do it?" And they're like, "Absolutely." Well, they had a meeting with me, and they're like, "Oh yeah, man, great ideas, great ideas." So I sank a little bit of money in there, getting some of the resources and stuff, and we built a very nice team. And we were, I mean, rock solid. We had people on almost 24 hours a day, and then one jackass fucked it all up. Old Jebediah Plum, whatever his name was, for like a week and a half straight was coming around just leveling all of our freaking all of our drivers. After a while, our driver's like, "Fuck you, I'm not working anymore." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't blame you." But that didn't last for very long, and you know, yeah, we moved on from there, and we were never quite 100% like we were before. But I mean, I had a pretty tight crew there, and so it was nice for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, yeah, like you say, you put a little bit of money into it and everything like that, but I'm pretty sure you had quite a large yard. I can't remember where your yard was though, but I remember you guys having like quite a big place.
Yeah,
Um,
so, right on the other side of, the bridge from MRPD, there's that, little building on kind of on the left across the street from the gas station,
mhm.
and our yard was in there. The thing was huge.
Yes,
It was
yes,
absolutely it was I think it was a mechanic shop at one point probably, because it had a lot of lifts and everything in it,
yeah. It's got
and,
the
car
door at the
parts.
top of the hill, doesn't it? On the
No,
left.
no, no, not the one on the top, at the very bottom, like, right when you come over the bridge and you see the gas station. We used to call it the Boom Boom gas station because everybody'd
Yeah,
hit it and
it's
blow up, you
it's
know?
a. I think it was a black and yellow building or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's either you or
It's
Bubba has
bl
sent me that MLO before.
black and green,
Is it
actually.
black and green? Okay,
Yeah,
I know the primary is definitely black because yeah, it changes a lot of that building. But from
right.
what I saw of it, it looks really nice. I can't remember who sent it to me now, but I remember watching the video on it. Um, But yeah, that's even bigger than the one that's up the hill. That's like
Oh yeah,
mega.
that one up the hill
Um,
was freaking tiny, tiny, tiny. It was, you know, they had all those pillars in there,
mm,
and every time you try to, you know, get a bigger truck out of there, you're always hitting stuff, and it was a mess.
yeah,
But it worked. It worked.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
So
it worked out for quite a while as well. To be fair, you've had quite a lot of success when it comes to SADOT because obviously you you were the foreman as well, the assistant foreman, I believe. Did you ever take up as the full foreman, or was it always the
uh,
assistant?
in revival, no,
Oh,
I
okay.
was always the assistant, always the ass. That's what I used to call him.
Oh yeah, that
Was
was it.
the ass foreman.
Yep, that was the one.
Yeah, so I didn't become a foreman until I went to INRP and then, you know, built SADOT from the ground up.
Mm,
And, you know, I had lots of help from, like, John Clemmer. Uh, he was always behind the scenes. He kinda got burned out with RP and, 'cause he'd been RPing for, like, 7 years, I think he said. And, he was just at the point where he was only sticking around because of, Lopez and I. And then after a while, he's like, "Fuck it, I can't do this anymore." But he was always helping me with, like, my stream stuff and, you know, help me with Discord and getting that stuff set up and setting up a, you know, a Say It Out Discord, blah, blah, blah. So, I've had a lot of help along the way, and oops, it's it's been very well, appreciated or very much appreciated. And, yeah, so, I mean, I would have never started streaming if it wasn't for Lopez, actually. Because Lopez is like, "Bro, do you stream?" I'm like, "No, dog, my computer sucks." So I bought this, like, piece of shit, thing off of Facebook Marketplace
mm,
just to get my foot in the door, and then over the next, like, year and a half, 2 years, I kept upgrading little things at a time as they started breaking. And, so, like, I lagged so bad when I first started. I had this crappy ass AMD, it was like an 8370 or some shit,
okay.
and, like a 970, GTX, video card, and I was getting if I was in, Legion Square, I was getting like 5 frames per second. It was so bad, and I was like, there's no way I can stream with this computer."
No.
So I thought my bottleneck was my graphics card, and that's back when the graphics card were just stupid expensive,
Mm,
and I thought I was getting a deal on a 1660 Super that was like almost 600 bucks. I was like, "Oof, those are like a $200 card." I paid 600 bucks for it, and I put it in, and it was still bottlenecking. I was like, "Fuck." So then I ended up getting a new motherboard, new memory, new processor, and, thank God I had a connection with Intel for that one. I got a pretty nice, i9 9900K for, not very much money.
oh,
And, yeah, and, so I just put all that newer stuff in this old case, and then I was like, "Man, this case sucks because there was, like, the on/off button was broke, and this, that, and the other thing." So it was a nightmare. So I finally got rid of that case and put everything into this new case, and slowly but surely been adding new stuff to the new case, blah, blah, blah. So now I have pretty much a brand new computer after all this time, and, it seems to run everything a lot better. Um, what was the question again? I kinda got sidetracked there.
that is that's a
You did too, perfect.
that's a very good point. I can't remember what what the
Yeah,
point.
anyways, I was just rambling on. Uh, so yeah, oh, streaming, Lopez. And so Lopez was
Mm,
like, "Bro, dude, you're funny as fuck, bro." He goes, "You need to stream." I was like, "Nah, nah, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me." And then finally, when I started getting my shit upgraded and everything started working better, I mean, I was falling through the map all the time. It was horrible. And so so he's like, "Bro, you really, really, really have to start streaming." So I was like, you know, and I hemmed and hawed for about 3 months, and I was messing around with OBS. I never, you know, dealt with it before. I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I didn't wanna you know, to stream anything that I wasn't proud of
yeah.
at the moment, you know, so everything had to be perfect, and I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Oh my god, so many YouTube videos, and learned how to set up all the, you know, the sound alerts and the bots and blah, blah, blah. And still sometimes that shit doesn't work, but you know, it is what it is.
Mm,
Just kind of have to bounce with it and roll with it. A lot of, people on my, stream were like, "Oh, Rusty's got a problem. Rusty's got here's another problem. Fuck Rusty." And I mean, the first time that I had any major problems, we sat there for like 45 minutes trying to go through everything to figure it out. It was so bad. But, the chat was making fun of me. I was rolling with it and throwing stuff back at them. So, it made it entertaining.
Yeah.
But I was so fucking stressed out, dog. So stressed out.
Yeah, I can
And then,
imagine.
because you have all that pressure and then, you're watching your chat talk shit and you're like, "Hey, fuck you, buddy," blah, 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 and, you just roll with it. That's all you can do. That's, pretty much my entire life. Just roll with it, dog. All you can do.
Yeah, I mean, you've done a
But
great job
yeah,
of that.
so I
So,
eventually I did, get in there, blah, 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 and, it took me a while to get my affiliate, but, it was worth it. It was really worth it. I really enjoy streaming. I haven't done it a whole lot lately, because of certain life, situations,
mhm.
but, um, I'm definitely gonna get back into it
Yeah,
here
I
really soon.
to be fair, I was literally about to ask you. I was like, so what is the situation with the streaming? Like, are you still doing it? Are you still enjoying it and things like that? Um, but yeah, obviously, things in real life obviously come first as well. Because at the end of the day, everyone does stream it for free to a certain extent. Obviously, unless you're mega famous, but everyone pretty much just
Right.
does it for other people's entertainment. So other things do come
Right.
first. But so
Yeah.
you are continuing that though when you can. You're not
Absolutely.
stopped it. Lovely.
Yeah,
That's what we like to
so
hear.
so so basically, what happened was, my wife said, "I want a divorce." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, perfect. All right, cool." And so I ended up moving out of the house and blah, blah, blah. And so I didn't have, all my streaming stuff set up and, still there's still some stuff that could, be worked on. But, I was pretty depressed. I mean, it's not a bad thing. We're still friends. We still work together. We're very civil to each other and, it's just a tough time. My second marriage, and this one I thought was going to be forever, and well, here we are. So yeah, so that's why I kind of haven't been streaming a whole lot. All that when I went to TARP, you have to be a content creator, and you have to put an application in. I put an application in once they opened them because they hardly ever open it, and they were only allowing 5 streamers, and I was not chosen. And with that server, I'm not gonna badmouth them or anything because I had a lot of fun there, but they're, like, kid friendly, so,
Hmm.
you couldn't cuss or swear, and there's certain things that they would not allow you to do, so I think that had a lot to do with, why I didn't get, an interview with SADOT.
Yeah.
Even though I went down there, I talked to one of the higher guys, and, I rode along with them, and he's like, "Oh, man, you got lots of experience." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I'm telling you." And, yeah, so, I mean, I made like $2 million there slinging, some, cocaine and, and I had, everything I wanted and more, and I was like, "I'm I'm just not feeling it here because I couldn't stream." So that's one big reason why I wasn't streaming, that and I was depressed, and, my life was kind of in shambles, and, then, I was like, "Alright, I need to go somewhere else." And I was like, "Oh, crap, I'm still whitelisted with New Day, I'm gonna go over there." So, when you start out somewhere where you know absolutely nobody, it's
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah.
And, New Day is, they're an economy-based, server as well, and it's very, very hard to make any money there, like real money. It's very difficult, and everything's kind of expensive, until you start, getting a job, blah, blah, blah. So, in, New Day, they call their SADOT, Public Works or PW, and, oh, I forgot about the story about Rusty, and, excuse me, in New Day. So, yeah, so I was like, "Okay, it's been 2 years later, blah, blah, blah. I'll go ahead and, make rusty balls."
Mm.
So I make rusty balls. I drive around, the town of for like a day or 2, and then I went over to PW and put an application, and I went on a ride along and everything. Everything was going great, and, the next morning, I get a ticket, in Discord, right? I'm like, "Oh." every time I see that red number on that server, on any server, it's like,
It's not
fuck, what
good.
did I do now?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I do now? And as a reporter, I'm like, oh, and they're like, "Hey, you're not in trouble or anything." Always the admin's first words, right? "You're not in
Mm.
trouble or anything, but you have a character named Rusty Balls?" I was like, "I sure do." And he goes, "Yeah, we need to talk about that." And I was like, "All right. What do you want to talk about?" And he goes, "Well, that's not doesn't fall within our community guidelines." I was like, What are you talking about?" I said, "I've been playing Rusty for, almost 3, 4 years now." And he's like, "Well, I understand that, but that it doesn't, fit in our, our perspective or whatever." I'm like, "Bro," I said, "Balls is like an energy drink, it's spelled with an S." I said, "I just replaced S with a Z." And I said, it's not offensive at all." And I said, "And a lot of people know who he is." And he's like, "Well," and I said, he goes, "Just change his last name." I'm like, "No." I said, I'm not gonna sell out just so I can play him here." I said, I'd rather just, delete him." And he goes, "Well, I'm sorry to hear that. So, let me know, send me a screenshot of, your character list, when you delete them." I'm like, "Motherfucker, seriously?" So, I mean,
Wow.
I fought for tooth and nail for Rusty to be there, but they said no, and I said, "Well, I'm not selling them out." So, Diggy's been the guy.
And was that the child friendly server? Was it?
No, 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 no. That was, New Day.
That was New Day. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
I was kinda bummed, but,
Yeah.
I've been having a lot of fun with that crim. So that's, is what it is.
I mean,
Something
if
totally
an-
different.
I mean, if anything, obviously, every cloud has a silver lining, right? So, that for that to happen, it's kind of led to this, which obviously is like almost like a little upgrade for it. It's a change of scenery. Um, Definitely different things going on, and like you said, it's more. Like we are talking about earlier, it's more adrenaline filled. There's a bit more excitement into it. Plus, to be fair, it's probably a lot more enjoyable to stream something like that because it's a lot more free. You can get your chat involved a lot more as well. So,
Well, I don't know. Rusty was pretty crazy, and
I
he did a
mean,
lot of
yeah,
stupid shit.
that's true. That's true. But I feel like your chat would have like more choice over like what's going on, or they could be like, oh yeah, hey, maybe you should go. I don't know, rob this store or go take this or go do that. So there's just a bit more you can do, and you don't have to worry about laws and things because at the end of the day, you're a criminal. So,
Oh, yeah, 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 the criminal side, yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Rusty was a pretty, straight-laced dude because he had to be, because he had a government job,
hmm,
and so, he did some questionable stuff, but, he was definitely a good boy.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
no. I have to admit, I did enjoy my time when I got to spend time with Rusty. It was quite enjoyable, especially when it was like you had Bubba there, you had yourself there, you had Drake there, and
Yeah,
obviously any other of the well-known names that
Lopez.
I've missed out. Obviously Lopez as well. Yeah, sorry, of course Lopez. Which obviously big shout out to not only Lopez but John that you keep mentioning as well. It sounds like those guys have done absolute bits for you. So
Oh, yeah,
big shout out
100%.
to those two. Massive work from those guys, which well, not only Rusty's thankful for, but myself as well, because obviously we wouldn't be at this very point right this second if it weren't for that, probably. So it's all led
Exactly.
to new things and big things. So I'm going to ask you something about your Twitch channel then. Is it just Twitch you stream on, or is it other platforms as well?
Well, live stream on Twitch. I do
Hmm.
have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's just, at Rusty_balls, and, TikTok, I haven't put a new video out in a long time, but, there's like 300 plus videos that are on there right now. Uh, that's Rusty_balls as well. But for streaming, I tried to, stream on, TikTok, but their software was junk. It was laggy. My regular OBS would be just fine, and, running their little content creator thing, it was so laggy. It was miserable. I
Yeah.
was like, "Boop," just pulled the plug on that, just keep uploading my clips, and, so I've never streamed live to YouTube. That might be something maybe one day.
I mean, I feel like getting recognized on YouTube's a little more difficult for like streaming live because I know I'd done it for a period of time and I struggled to even get past like the one viewer mark. I couldn't even get to that sometimes. But
Oh
to be
wow.
fair, it's a little different to Twitch. So when you do get to that mark or do like exceed that mark and you get past that, it's then a lot more rewarding. And I feel like the following is like a bigger gain as well. And yeah, it really does feel good to be fair. But obviously there are different ways out there that you can obviously stream to both if you wanted to, Twitch and YouTube at the same time. But onto the question for your streaming then, what are you like your streaming goals? Have you got any goals set up that you want to try and achieve before you end up, because one day we're all going to say, right, okay, I'm done streaming. So what are your goals before that day, before the day comes around where you're like, yep, enough's enough, this is my last rodeo? Have you got any goals? Have you got any figures that you've set out that you want to try and hit or anything like that at all?
No, no. Like I always tell my chat, I don't do this for the money or the notoriety or anything. I just do it to have fun. And it's a lot more enjoyable, I found, to be able to share what I do with everybody that wants to watch and, and have the interaction. So, during the down times, through RP, 'cause there's always, the slow lulls and stuff, unless you're a cop or something
Mhm.
and being able to communicate with people and talk to them, get to know them is always really important. And being able to bond and like I said, connect and just build those friendships and those bonds. That's all I care about. I give a shit about everything else. I mean, to be perfectly honest.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So no goals set, then you're just kind of taking, like you say, every day as it comes. Just
Yep.
going with the flow
Just
is what it
roll with the
is.
punches, dog. That's
Love
exactly what I
it.
do with life and with my RP stuff and with streaming. It is what it is, and if people want to watch, hey, cool. If they don't, well, that's cool too. I can sit there and stream to nobody. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, when you
mean,
first
yeah,
start doing it, it's really difficult, but after
yeah,
you've
yeah,
done it for a while, I mean, you can sit there and just talk to yourself because that's basically what you do, anyways, right? You just talk to yourself,
yeah.
and then you answer yourself, and you get the best answers that way.
I mean, yeah, that's very true. But I mean, people enjoy those that obviously are very interactive with chat, and I've been in your stream several times, and I can say, I can vouch for that and say that you definitely are. Um, so highly recommend anyone either watching this live through my channel, obviously go check out Rusty's Twitch channel. And if you're watching this back or listening back to it on YouTube, his links will be down below underneath the video. So obviously click on that, you'll see all those links there, so you can go check that out. And any further ones I need to put in, I'll put in as well. But so with your streaming, are we going to see much of this Diggy criminal? Are we going to see some shenanigans going on there coming up soon? Have you got your next stream date in mind?
So I think I streamed like 7 days ago, and I just been streaming Diggy because I can't play Rusty because, well, here we are.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe one day I'll play Rusty on a separate server or something, and see where it goes with that. But for right now, I'm pretty focused on Diggy. He's she just got accepted into a pseudo gang. They're not an official gang yet,
Hmm.
but there's about 8 or 10 of us, and we've been rolling together, and we've been, robbing banks and jewelry stores and stuff, and, we've, been selling lots of product, and, we may or may not, you know, uh, may or not be, getting in bed with the cartel.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
This is progressing very slowly, but, I mean,
Hmm.
the slow burn's always the best, right?
Yeah.
So, we just talked to these guys, just like 2 days ago, and, yeah. So, it's gonna get interesting. So I'm definitely gonna be streaming them. So, you know, I've thought about this. I'm like, "Man," he goes, "everything on my stream is all Rusty Balls. All my, uh, emotes and everything, all Rusty Balls, all spoons, all FAA related." I'm not doing any of that anymore, really. And, so I'm like, "Man, do I just keep the Rusty Balls, brand?
Mm.
Or am I gonna have to switch it up to something different and just reorganize. And you know how reorganizing an entire stream is, because you've
Yeah.
done it like 5 times, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah,
takes a
yeah, it's a lot of
lot.
work. Because once you
Yeah.
get it all, it's like, okay, cool, it's all done, it's there, blah blah blah, and then it's like, ah, I got to redo everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes, yikes. Yeah, at
And
least I
it,
know how to do it now.
I mean,
So
I mean, there is that. There is
for
that.
the
But
most
that's.
part.
I mean, that's an end of an era. That is getting rid of all the rusty stuff.
I
But
don't want to.
I mean,
Maybe I have to do like Thiessen and create a separate channel for Diggy and one for Rusty. Huh? Fuck.
I mean, you could do. You never know. If you take Rusty off elsewhere, you certainly could do. Or better yet, you could have maybe you could stream one character on Twitch and one on YouTube. Just separate the platforms. So
Oh,
you could always do that. You know, maybe have YouTube as your as either your criminal one or Rusty one, because then obviously the benefit to streaming on YouTube, as long as you're not using copyright music, instant uploads your stream and
right.
unlimited watch back. It's not like Twitch where you got like 30 to 60 days before it
Mm,
then deletes itself unless you export it. It's instantly there. So that's always something, you know, you could have a think about and possibly do.
right. Like Clemmer just said in my chat, he goes, I've been telling you to go back to DFib because DFib 35 was my
Mm,
original
that was the
channel
OG.
name.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, once Rusty Balls became, bigger or just better,
Mm.
I was like, I'm just going to change it because I mean everybody was changing their name at that time. You were talking about changing your name, or I actually changed your name like 3 times before I did it. but but I was like, fuck it, let's rebrand as Rusty underscore Balls, and
Mm.
so I did, and I was like, man, I kind of backed myself into a corner there a little bit, with at least with like DFib 35, I could actually use those things plus add on, some diggy stuff and some rusty stuff and make it more um
Generic.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So that I can, play any character on there or anything and not have to worry about, being rusty balls, even though when I play diggy, everybody's like Rusty, Rusty, 'cause that's how people know me
Yeah.
is by Rusty Balls.
Yeah.
And when people call me my real name in real life, I'm like, who? Oh, you're not talking. I thought you were talking to some other ding dong over there.
I mean, I have to admit, I've had that because obviously my name in real life isn't John, but the amount of
Right.
people that obviously I'm so used to hearing myself called John, especially when we had the whole COVID outbreak thing, and over, I don't know what it was like in America, but over here, obviously, we had the whole isolation thing, and I mean that went on for a couple of years. So
Yeah,
for a
same thing.
couple of years of my life, my name was John, because
Yeah.
obviously the only people I talk to are people online and in RP. So for a couple of years, I was being called John. The moment I got out of this isolation thing, went back to work, instantly called my real name at work, and I didn't answer anyone because I had forgotten what my real name was. So I only responded to John, and I told some people that they figured that out, and to this day they still
Uh,
call me John at work. So
do they really? Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah, that's it's kind of stuck. I've got different
Does your
nicknames.
paycheck does your
Oh no,
paycheck still say John?
no, it's not. Thank God, it's not on that. If not, I would be getting them. But I've got different nicknames depending on where I am. Because like on Xbox, my name's Jack. On PC and RP, it's John, and in real life, it's completely different. It's Callum. So,
Right.
but it's yeah,
Guess what my
it's
real name is? I mean, it says on my
ooh.
Twitch bio, but
See,
what do you think my
I
what
haven't
do you
read
think my
that.
name is? What do you think my name is, John?
Ooh, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's
I can tell you that it's not Rusty.
well, that's good. I wasn't gonna say Rusty. To be fair, I was gonna say it's gonna. I feel like it's a Butch name.
A
I, yeah, I feel like you got a Butch name. I don't feel like you've got.
So Butch is like I'm not gonna go there.
Put it this way, I wouldn't say that your name's Ian, for example, because Ian works a 9 to 5 office job in a nice office suite with a nice secretary, Deirdre, and has a lovely life. So I wouldn't say that you're an Ian. So I'd say you're more of you're a Butch name, someone that basically doesn't take any crap. Now what that name would be, I don't know. I don't know. Something's telling me that you've got a more Butch name than Ian. And if you turn around
I
and tell
do
me
work
your
a nine
name's
to five.
I'm okay. I was a bit worried you're about to tell me that your name's Ian. Then I was gonna I was just going to be like, yeah, I'll walk out now. I'll leave. Oh, that's a good question. I don't actually know. I don't really know what to guess either.
All right. We'll just guess something like Stan, John. Is John a butch name?
Big John. Yeah, Big John. Something like that. That'd be a nickname. I feel
Yeah,
like
no.
David, maybe a bit of a powerhouse,
Nope.
but no.
Nope. How about simple 3 letters?
3?
And it's not Tom.
Ben?
Nope. You're close. You have one of the 3 letters.
One of the 3. Okay.
This is Hangman with Rusty Balls.
Jesus, what? Which one of the? Oh my god, I'm just trying to think of Kev. No, that's Kevin, isn't it? Really? Oh my god.
Nope, you still only have 1 letter right.
What? By saying Kev?
Oh no, you have 0 letters right.
Oh, okay. So it's not the E that's the correct letter then. What did I say before? I said Ben. So it's either the B or the N that's needed. Oh
Would you like
my
to buy a
god.
vowel?
Yes.
For $5,000, John, you can buy a vowel.
5K. Okay.
Yeah, fake money, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Monopoly money.
Yeah.
That kind of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imaginary, you know, like zeros and ones, right? Binary type currency.
I tell you what. Seeing as this is just milking a podcast, I'll give you $5,000 worth of milk. That's what we'll do.
Damn, that's a lot of milk.
Yeah, that'll last you a little while.
All
That'll
right,
last me about a week. But
the value you just bought for 5,000 pounds or dollars of milk, is an A.
it's an A. So it's either. Well, it's not ban. I know that's for sure.
You got 2 of the letters right.
2 of the letters right. So it's A.
Probably not a very common English name, I wouldn't think. Maybe the longer version of it is, but
Oh my god, that's messing with me. That's messing with me big time. I'm guessing the A's in the middle. It's got to be. There's no other way about it unless it was possibly a
unless it
foreign
was
name.
Ian.
Oh god, it's not, is it? Please tell me it's
No.
not Ian. Please, I was gonna say
It worked right into the whole thing. See how I just roll with the punches and shit just freaking works.
That was good.
Okay.
That did scare me.
The next letter is like the 4th one of the English alphabet.
D. Oh, yeah. I had to make sure. D.
Yeah. So what does that spell?
So it's AD, is what you're telling me. Something AD.
No.
Or the other way around. DA.
The A is the middle.
Dan.
Huh? What'd you say?
Dan. DAN.
Dan. Yes, that is correct.
I was.
We have a winner.
I was gonna say. Hey, I was gonna say it's either that or it's Dad. One or the other.
Definitely not Dad.
One or the other.
Let's see here. Hey, Daddy.
Oh.
You know, there's always that.
Oh well, that's so got to be made into a character. That voice. Oh dear. I mean, to be fair, I did not expect that to be your name after knowing you as Rusty for such a long time. To be fair, I think it's the same for anyone.
I know.
I think apart from maybe like Teeson, I think everyone else is pretty much the same because people just don't use their real names. So,
right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when you hear someone's real name compared to their.
One of my viewers here, old Reg44, he played a Sadot character in INRP with me, and he actually said that a long time ago. He's like, Dan. I'm like, yep. And he's like, right on. Yeah, but you know, you wouldn't think that's my name. I mean, I still don't think I'm Dan. So Dan's not a very common English name, right? Is it more like Daniel?
Yeah, I think the long name's used more than the short. I think you normally just call someone Dan, like as an informal, like friend way. So if you were like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna meet Dan at the pub or something like that, I'm gonna go to the football with Dan. You'd say it in that context, but yeah, in like a formal context or anything like that. It's not really used over here. It's more
Right,
the longer
right.
version, like Daniel.
Yeah. Cool, cool. So yeah, so that's my real name, and I'm not going to give out my last name, but it's kind of obvious sometimes.
The
But
biggest hint.
I don't know. Yeah,
Oh dear. I
and
actually,
if there's any haters out there, come on, dog. You can find me. Come on, bring it. I'm not afraid of nobody.
I'm not
Because
gonna
I know a
lie.
lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm not putting my last name out there. People are going to stalk me and blah blah blah."
Mm,
Fuck, I encourage it.
well,
Absolutely.
I mean, to be fair, I've googled my own name many times, just curiosity, like got the best of me to see what comes up, and I think there's over 6 people that live near me with the exact same name, and then like in the country there's hundreds. So yeah, I can understand them telling like kids and everyone about, don't tell people your last name, don't tell people your full name. But I think it gets to a point where it's just like you realize how many people there are with the same name as you. It's like it's not an issue, just it be what it be.
Yeah, there's not really that many people with my name, and not really that many that live around here with that name. No, I'm not giving out any clues, but I do live in Oregon,
Okay.
and I do live right next to, or not right next to, within a couple miles of the Columbia River. That historical river that
Mm,
Lewis and Clark is, come down
yeah.
many moons ago, back when I was like in grade school.
So you're giving out hints for people to come do a little hide
Yeah,
and seek game.
if you uh, what am I trying to say? If you go down the Lewis and Clark Trail, we might run into each other.
There we go.
Maybe
There we
you'll
go.
you'll definitely run into the blonde brewer, the blonde brewer on TikTok before you hit me because they live right down the street.
The Blonde Brewer, is that a big name, big channel?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. They did a lot of skits with Gangster's Paradise. They actually
Okay.
did stuff with oh crap, what the hell's his name? He just died not that long ago.
I was gonna say Snoop Dogg, but I definitely ain't Snoop.
No, not Snoop Dogg. It was crap. And I can see him. Buster Rhymes
Oh, yep.
with Buster Rhymes. And they actually did a few videos with him. Is pretty awesome. And then shortly after that, he died, which is it kind of sucks. Oh no, it does
Hmm.
suck. But they did a lot of different things. He'd say some shit, she'd say some shit, and he'd turn around, and the Gangster Paradise would come on, and she'd throw something at him all the time. It's pretty hilarious, and they literally live right down the street.
Oh,
Crazy.
okay. Oh,
Yeah, they got like millions of viewers.
well, there we go. I think we've found some people to team up with there for your TikTok then for your next video. Go
Oh
do a
man,
little collaboration.
that would be amazing.
Yeah, just go over there and
That
be
would,
like,
I've never met them. That they own a business here,
mm,
and yeah, if during Halloween, there's a certain Disney movie that may or may not have been filmed in the town I live in.
ah,
Yeah,
so finding out more about your
yeah.
hometown now. Things are getting a
Yes,
lot more
sir.
famous about where you live. And
but but where I live is really small.
mm,
Just because Lewis and Clark came through here, just because the Blonde Brewers here, um,
yeah, just
still
small
very
things.
small.
Yeah,
It's
just small
yeah,
details.
little tiny things.
Yeah, it's the little things in life that you
Yeah,
notice.
yeah, yeah.
Oh dear.
So yeah, it's a great little town.
Mm.
We're sitting on a half acre. We got 5 chickens, 3 dogs now, and 2 cats.
So once you make it past the chickens, the dogs, and the cats, then you can finally get to Rusty. But until then, you got to get through all the animals. You got to get through the famous TikToker first, and then you can finally get there. And even Drake's sitting here saying in the chat, he's like, "Yeah, he gave out too much info."
Ah, fuck that. I mean, what are they gonna do? What's somebody gonna do? Torch my house on fire? Go ahead. I got insurance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say to that. I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. Drake said he'd send you a bunch of dildos. And Mushy
Perfect.
in my chat has said that she'll stalk you. So,
Perfect. I think she already does that anyways.
oh well. I mean, there we go. What's different then?
Yeah.
What's different?
Yeah.
All
Let's see
right.
here. Mushy, she played a doctor or a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Crap, what was her name? She's from like New Zealand, right? Is it that one?
Oh no, you
Am I
test me.
thinking of the right
Is
person?
it New Zealand or Australia? Oh, mindfuck. I can tell you. All right, we're gonna play the guessing game with her name instead. So you're gonna guess her name begins with S.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I should know this. I mean, I RP'd with her a bunch, and I've made her turn probably 15 different shades of red. Um, S. Well, I know it's not Sally. It's not Sherry. It's not Shannon.
Oh.
Not Sylvester.
Out of all the ones you've said, there's been one that's very close. Sounds very similar.
Sounds very similar to Sally.
Not Sally.
Shit.
What was the next one you said? The one you
Shirley?
no, it sounded very.
Sandy?
Didn't you? I think you said. I think you actually named a drink if anything. I swear you said sherry.
Oh, I did say Sherry.
Yeah, it sounds very similar to that.
Oh, very similar to Sherry.
Think of what you find on beaches.
Oh, Shelly.
There we go.
Yeah, see, I remember her, dog. I mean, I can hear her voice, and I can hear her freaking cockatiel or whatever it was in the background all the time. Yeah, I know exactly who she is, dog.
Yeah, no, she's with us as well in the chat over here. And it's been confirmed in the chat as well that she's Australian. So it
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
wasn't
So I hear that the Australians hate being called, Kiwis or from New Zealand because it's kind of like, Mexicans and Guatemalans, two totally separate things. Same type of, dialect and everything, but they absolutely fucking hate being called that different nationality when they're not, which I mean is understandable.
that I have to admit that I did not know. But she said it
What?
doesn't really bother her.
Oh, well, there's a lot of people that it does.
Well, yeah, she seems to not mind that whatsoever. Which, well, that's all good news. Our Reg 44 has made it
Yeah.
over here as well. The
Yeah.
emu thing is the next thing that she's put. I don't really know what she means by that. Do you know what she means by that? The emu thing
What emu thing is she
is.
talking about?
I have a funny. I
I,
swear she's. Oh, it's the emu thing that bothers her. I swear I've heard about this and I can't think what it is. Is it something? I could be completely wrong here. Is it something to do with like hunting them or killing them? Was there something big
uh,
that happened with that?
I have no idea. I know there's one little clip that there's like this wildlife. It's called Wildlife Safari
Hmm.
in like central, not central, but southern Oregon. And I was with my ex girlfriend at the time, and an emu actually stuck its fucking head um, straight through. What am I trying to say? Stuck its head into our car to try to get some food or some shit. And I was like, when emus attack. And I saw a clip on my TikTok. It's actually pretty good.
Well, I might have to check that one out. Actually, that does sound quite good. I might have a look at that.
Yeah, yeah. I'll send you that one too.
Sounds good. So
If I can find it.
away from Australia and their lovely emus and all the cultural stuff there.
Yeah.
In general, I know you said you don't have any like targets or goals for streaming, but what are your plans for the future in terms of just gaming in general and life? Like, are you gonna get to a point where you're gonna start cutting things back? Are you gonna Because I know there's so many different elements with this question that you could go into, but what's like going to be your focus? Let's split it up to make it a bit easier. So what's going to be your focus over the next 2 years, gaming wise? Are you going to focus more on your streaming? Are you going to focus on a certain game? What are you going to do? And then what's going to be like your long term goal?
So, the whole reason why I even got a PC is to play 5M,
Mhm.
and so that's been my like go-to. I did, invest a little bit in, going through all these TikTok videos and just laughing because I remember every single one of them. It's like, oh man, in Microsoft Flight Simulator,
Yes,
and I may like right over my shoulder here. I might have a flight yoke and quadrant and rudder
yeah,
pedals
I
and
noticed that. Yep.
all that shit right there. Um, but I haven't really got a whole lot into it because I've been so focused on the RP thing. So I'm kind of what do they call that? Where you get on one thing and just stick with it. Uh, I don't know. Anyway, so when I moved, now I have a 65-inch TV, like literally right there, and I have the flight controls right in front of that. So I take an HDMI cable from my computer, plug it into my TV, and then I do the flight sim stuff up there. It's pretty epic. It's all it's 65 inches right in your face. Um, Somebody in my chat says all of your TikTok videos are good. Nah, the stuff that I started in the beginning was horrible, but
We all
it
start
progressed.
somewhere. We all start
Yeah,
somewhere.
because I had not a clue what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, as far as where I plan to be in 2 years, I honestly I just hope to be alive. Family history is really shitty on my father's side. His brother was 46 when he died. My dad was 49 when he died, and his dad was 51. And next month I turn 50, and so I've already outlived my dad, so that's kind of scary. So I just take day by day, dog, day by day, because here's Winnie Moose Attack. See here, copy link.
Oh, he's found it. He's found it. We'll get that put in the chat as well here in a moment. So yeah, your goal is just to basically you just want to focus on health things, then really.
Yeah, yeah. When I was 30, I had a defibrillator put in. That's why my motorcycle club that I'm a part of, I got that while I was prospecting, and they called me defib, and that's where the defib 35 came from. And trying to multitask here, it's not working out so well for me. um, and so I've been doing a lot better, like with my diabetes and stuff. Because man, I got some serious problems, dog. I have congestive heart failure. That's why I have the defibrillator, and it's never gone off. And I've had it for a long time since I think it was 36 when I got that put in. It's been like 14 years. Um, and I have diabetes. I got neuropathy in my feet, so it feels like pins and needles all the time. It really sucks.
Yeah.
Because like trying to use like uh, the rudder pedals for the flight sim, it's hard to feel my feet to know exactly where I'm at on that, but, it's all good. Uh, yeah, but, it is what it is. It's the cards you're dealt, and you just gotta deal with it and carry on.
Yeah, you just got to power through it.
Yeah,
And well, to be fair, obviously you're doing a fantastic job of that so far. You're not letting it get to you or anything like that. You're pushing on, and you're doing
yeah,
what you enjoy at the end of the day. And obviously,
absolutely.
we're all thankful for obviously your health anyway, sort of holding up and getting to this point anyway for us to even be
Yeah,
sitting here having this conversation. So, um, like you say, you say you've outlived your dad and whatnot as well. So you've done a you must be doing something right. You've done a great job with that.
either
So
that or I'm just really lucky, John. Just
maybe
really lucky.
maybe, but I don't know. I feel like luck comes in on certain things, but I don't know if luck comes in with that. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's a lifestyle thing.
Right. Well, So earlier this year, I ended up in the hospital for 3 days with an infection in my foot, and
Mhm.
of all people, you definitely know the issues with feet,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you've been going through it.
Uh-huh.
And so all of a sudden I could barely walk and everything, and my foot swelled up. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And so, I'm kind of a pick and prodder. So I started going after it a little bit, then I'm like going, "Okay, I mean, you got diabetes, you already can't feel your feet very much. It's time to go to the doctor." So I went to my doctor, my primary, and he's like, "Yeah, you need to go to the ER." And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, you just need to go to the ER." I'm like, all right." So I went up to the ER and was admitted pretty much right away. At first, they thought maybe it was a bone infection. They thought it was a blood infection. They thought it was this. They thought it was that. It was none of the above. It was just a plain old, just an infection from, I had a little bit of athlete's foot on that foot, and it cracked and got some shit in there. And well, here we are. So that healed up finally, and it's a lot better. So, bonus.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we can definitely say I've had my foot issues. I won't go into that, but I mean that
Right.
was a long time. That felt ages. Because the worst bit is for me, it was both my feet as well that I had issues with. It started off with just one, and I was like, yeah, you know what, that foot's getting too much attention. It's my turn now. And then it just instantly, as soon as one healed, it just switched. And it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's my turn now. And then it's like I went from limping on one side for like a couple of months to then limping on the other side for a
On the other
couple of
side.
months. Like my hips
Damn.
would have hated me for
Yeah.
limping that length of time. But
Mm.
yeah, especially if you get an injury at all, like sort of ankle down, I'd say terrible, because obviously the amount you rely on your feet. Obviously, if you have the ability to walk, the amount you rely on your ankles, your feet, and everything like that is ridiculous. And you don't. It's one of those things that you don't really appreciate or care about much until it's too late. Like until the point where it's either injured or worse, potentially, who knows, gone. So it's
Right.
yeah, it's not one of those things that's appreciated on the daily. I have to admit, I don't even appreciate it
You
as
know
much
what
as what I
else
should
is
do.
not you know what else is not very much appreciated?
Hmm.
Breathing. So when I had my
Yeah.
congestive heart failure, I could not fucking breathe. It was so difficult to breathe. I was like,
Hmm.
"Man, this sucks." And I was like, "Man, I am thankful every day that I can breathe."
Yeah.
Because when you can't breathe, dude, you're not living.
Yeah.
That's a foot in the grave there. Um, hell
Yeah.
yeah. Ridge 44 says, really glad to have had the opportunity to RP with me. It was always a good time, even when he got launched out of the helicopter and splatted on the ground. Yeah. Well, he was already down. Drake got a hold of him, and I was flying the helicopter over. We're going to land at Pillbox. This is an INRP, and uh, something shook on the helicopter, and Drake dropped him and landed splat right in the middle of was that Strawberry? No, starts with an E, but whatever that road is right in front of Pillbox, splattered right there. There was two cops right there, and I was high enough up they didn't see me, so I played it off. I went back to Sadot's yard and landed my helicopter, got out, got into a Sadot vehicle, and went down to the hospital. I was like, "Hey, have you guys seen any Sadot people, falling out of the sky?" And he's like, yeah, I was like, "Where the hell did he fall from?" They're like, "I have no idea." I was like, "Oh, yeah, me neither. That's crazy." They had not a fucking clue.
Yeah, I've got a
But it was awesome.
Drake. I've got Drake in here going, fuck that. He blaming me again. He's the one that rolled the stick. So Drake's
Hey,
really not happy
he's
with
the
that.
one Drake, you were the one holding on, dog. You were the one holding on. It's not my fault you got butterfingers, dog.
To be fair, that is
Sorry about the whole dog thing, because I'm kind of, going back and forth with Diggy, because god damn it. You guys didn't hear that, but somebody just freaking scared the shit out of me with a bang. Oh my god.
Oh, we've caught. I'm glad we
Yeah,
caught that
thanks,
live.
Keenan. Yeah,
Oh, glad we caught that live. That's brilliant.
yeah. There's a couple of TikTok videos with me getting scared. Lopez has scared me multiple times. John scared me multiple times. This Keenan motherfucker here, he's definitely done it more than anybody, I think. Man, it gets me every time because I have that thing cranked so loud
Yep.
that it just when you're not looking, you're not expecting it, bam.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for some reason, these motherfuckers, for some reason, these motherfuckers think it's funny. I think it's funny too, but man,
Yeah,
I
I
got
think
my
I think it's funny, just not to me.
right. And Drake's over here saying, "Fuck you, Blabby B, for that shit. Yeah, you damn hard." You say you hard told the damn stick, mofo. He's not happy with me right now. Hey,
No, I can
Drake,
imagine.
listen, it's not like I beat you over the head with a flashlight at any time, which he'll never let me forget, and that was many moons ago.
Oh dear, that's I have to admit the bang notification, that thing catches me off guard the most when I'm on Daisy. Daisy's the worst because
Oh,
I'm listening
right.
up for zombies, and obviously you know how like silent it is almost. It's very kind of on edge, and the moment that something might be going off, you just hear a massive bang, and I'm thinking, oh my god, like the amount of time. I think I had a clip produced, and it was me saying something really. So, oh no, that was it. Instead of a big loud bang, it was someone that just shouted "dicks," just really loud, and it caught me so off guard. That after it had happened, I was like, after I calmed
Dicks.
down, I was like, oh my god, it's the dicks always get me. And when I said that, it was
Wait. Time out. John, time out. What do you mean the dicks always get you? God,
See,
you got to wear protection, bro.
mate, that honestly, that's what I mean. The moment it went off, for whatever reason, the first thing that came to my mind was also just say, the dicks always get me. And then instantly, 2 seconds later, clipped by Reese, I thought, you're taking the piss. I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm not going to be able to like let that one down. Now that's going to now stay with me forever, and it has. It's now a well enjoyed clip of mine.
Dicks always get me.
Yeah, saying that like in the middle of apocalypse as well.
Wait, time out. Back that up.
Oh yeah. Gotta rewind that. Gotta rewind that. But the best bit was this. Obviously,
dicks always get me.
You're in the middle of an apocalypse. There's zombies all around you. People trying to eat you. People trying to kill you. And I'm worried about the dicks getting me.
I mean, that's fair, dog. That's fair.
It just says it all. But no, we do have some good times as streamers with these notifications. Luckily, I've got mine set off for this, so they're not going to keep going off. But yeah, it definitely brings a new element to it. Have you ever had one of those go off though when you do like a horror game? Have you ever played like Phasmophobia or anything like that and done it?
So the only game I've ever played on stream other than GTA is Train Simulator. It's because CFX was down one night, and I was like, man, I already started my stream. I didn't realize it was down. So the Train Simulator thing was free download, so I went and downloaded that, and that was an absolute clusterfuck. I didn't know what I was doing, how to do it. Lopez, oh yeah, that's easy. So what does he do? He goes, downloads the game, gets on there, and he figures it out. And then I think he streamed over what he was streaming, I think, or he streamed it through Discord, something like that. And he's like, oh yeah, you do this, do that, blah blah blah. And so we kind of sort of figured it out, but it was more of a time filler. So I've never played any other game really. So I'm kind of sheltered in that aspect.
Well, I have to admit, if you're a fan of horror games, I know one that's a very good laugh, and a lot of people from RP communities tend to have it, is Phasmophobia, because you can also do a little bit of role play in that as well. To be fair, because you have to talk to the spirits and things like that. And I have to admit, I do quite enjoy it. I play it with my mate Diggy.
Right.
Me and him play that quite a bit, and yeah, that's quite entertaining, especially when you get jump scared or if you die. Obviously, you're then a ghost yourself. You don't haunt the others, but you can see the ghost chasing them. So obviously you can see the spirit in its like human form. And the best thing I've ever done on there was I really scared him because when the ghost hunts, you can hear the heartbeat of your character obviously like racing, and yeah, when it's like that loud, it goes through your head. I mean, we're talking like that. That's all you can hear in the game, and obviously you got that like almost ominous kind of sound in the background as soon as you like enter the building you're searching. But after this ghost had finished hunting and the heartbeat had calmed down, he then walked into this was like a single floor house, like a bungalow type thing, and the main hallway from the front door went all the way to the back of the house. So what I done is as he was leaving to go out the front door, he opened it, and I was standing at the other end of the hall, and because I'm a ghost, he can't see me. I threw a basketball towards him, and it bounced down the hallway to him and started rolling and stopped right at his feet. He shat himself and he ran. He quit the mission. He's like, "Nah, I can't do it." He's like, "I'm not taking any more of that," and then realised it was me. Obviously, you got to guess. You got to guess the spirit and try and get it right. And we got it wrong, but I was crying too much to even focus on winning. But yeah, you can really mess with people on there and have a good laugh.
It's kind of like Among Us on steroids, huh?
Yeah,
Like
kind of.
Among Us.
Yeah, kind of. To be fair,
I've seen it played. I've seen it played. I've seen all those games played. I've never played any of those. And another one that looked kind of fun was 7 Ways to Die.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. I've seen bits on that. I've never done it myself, but I've seen bits on it.
Yeah, me either.
I have to admit though, Among Us is definitely on my list. I want to get a good group of people together and do an Among Us at some time. I've never actually had the chance to do that in a voice chat aspect, because obviously you see people do it a lot. One channel I watch a lot of, to be fair, is the Sidemen, and obviously when they do their Among Us things, they're amazing, they're brilliant. So I like watching their like Sidemen Among Us series. But yeah, their stuff there is fantastic. So when you get a good group of people and you're all doing it in a voice chat, it's fantastic. Like over text chat, it's okay, but obviously you can only type a certain amount of things that, within the time limit you get. I think it's like 80 seconds or something like that. So obviously over voice, it's a lot easier. But yeah, if you get like a good group of people in there, then I think it could be really, really enjoyable. Like for example, like take me, you, Bubba, get Lopez if he's still about as well, if he still gets PC.
Oh, he's still about. Yeah, he's still around.
Get him in there. So you got all the Sadot Light, you got myself. We'll get like Thiessen involved and a few other like well-known names as well. Get everyone going in a little Among Us game. I think it'd be quite a good laugh, to be fair, because obviously you got people trying to lie their way through things, and it'll be interesting to see who can do it. And you can challenge yourself, be like, right,
who's the best liar?
You got to do it in your character's like voice and your character's personality. So Thiessen will be like, well, I can't articulate that he done the crime and things like that. So you'll have different things to it.
Oh yeah, that actually probably be pretty fun. I would download that game just to do that. Actually, while you were saying that, I was like, man, maybe I should just download that anyways, and maybe play with the viewers. That's fun.
I have to admit, I need to kind of build my streams up a little bit more, but that's something I want to do.
There's Lopez. He's like, hi. Actually, I think it's more like hi.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
I got to really squeeze really tight to be able to get up that high. If I just let them all go,
then I start talking like this, dog.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that was Diggy's voice, is it? Is that Diggy's voice?
Yeah, that's 100% Diggy. Yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah, no, it'd be good to get that kind of thing going. I have to admit, that'd be nice. Maybe we'll have to look into that. And actually, you all do it together at some point. That'd be quite nice to get going. Yeah,
I'm colorblind, so trying to pick the colors is going to be really difficult for me. But I'll figure it out.
Well, the benefit is that you can have like certain types of skins and little like clothing attachments on your characters. So telling the color difference from characters won't be an issue because you'll just have to do it based on like skins and kind of things. So like some people will be wearing like pants, some people have like a little devil on their shoulder or something like that. So there'll be different little features that you'll be able to pick up. And plus there's a couple of tasks on there that are based on colors, but they've actually lettered them now. So you do a letter to like from one of them is like dragging wires over. So you got to match the colors. But obviously instead of colors, it's letters or symbols and stuff.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, they've kind of balanced that out, which is nice. But there's all kinds of mods for it as well, like different roles and things like that. So we're definitely gonna have to look into that and see if we can get that kind of thing rolling.
100%.
But yeah, I mean, well, what we'll do is we'll I won't take up too much of your night, so we'll finish up here very shortly. But is there?
I got nothing but time, dog. I got nothing but time.
I mean, to be fair, same. It's not too late. It's not too late. I've been up way later.
It's only 6:10 here.
It's
10 p.m.
10 past 2 in the morning here, but I've been up a lot later, so
Right.
Because obviously, like normal prime time technically would be in like an hour's time. So,
Right.
um,
Yeah, that's crazy. So, you've been asking me a lot of questions. I'm gonna ask you a question.
bring it.
With the time difference between the United States and England,
Hmm.
how difficult is it for you to play on prime time?
Very, yeah,
Yeah,
very.
especially when you got work in the morning and
Yeah. So people that RP with me on a regular basis know that I have a late night system. And the late night system is because my job's quite nice now. I only work Monday to Friday. Whereas
me too.
whereas before, like my days off would be kind of scattered, so it'd never be guaranteed on what
Oh,
days. Whereas
right.
now it is strict Monday to Friday, job done, and then weekends off. So Friday night going into Saturday, Saturday night going into Sunday, they're my late nights, so they're prime nights. They're nights I could stay up till prime, but
Right.
because of how early I have to like go to
So
sleep and
that's
get
like
up during the week, it's not easy.
that's 3 a.m. for you for prime, huh?
Yeah,
Oof.
yeah.
Oof.
So
Oof.
prime starts at 3. I think that's the worst part. Is it starts at 3. If it started at like 1 and then the midpoint of prime was then 3, it wouldn't be too bad. But prime
Right.
starts at 3.
Right. Oof.
And normally, from my experience, I've done a couple of all nighters before, and I found out that things tend to quieten down around 7 a.m. my time. So you got that 4 hour stint
All right.
of when things are really popping. But the amount of times that I've stayed up that late, done that, I've gone to like get into bed and my legs are almost numb. Like there's this really weird feeling. Like every time I stay up all night and get into bed, like my whole body doesn't feel right. It's like, nah,
Yeah, because
this isn't right.
you gotta stand up and stretch those legs out sometimes, dog. Well, that and you're probably just so exhausted that you feel that some kind of funny, you know.
I think it is exhaustion, I have to admit, because the first thing I do is I can't just have curtains shut anymore in my room. I have to have the blind down as well because I've got both. Because in the
Oh wow.
summertime, the curtains they do a good job, but you need like a blackout blind, especially for streaming, because the sun comes in from one side, goes across my face. So
Right.
half my face looks like an angel, and half of it, well, we won't talk about the other half. So it's something that I need in the summer, but normally what
So
I'll
you had that Among Us skin on with the little devil on your shoulder, huh?
yeah, that's basically me in real life. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Me too,
Um,
dog. Me too.
but I mean, I have to get up to obviously lower the blind down because by then it's daylight. So
Right.
I got to black the room out. So by the time I'm doing that, my whole body's like, whoa. As the moment I stand up, it's like, Jesus. Okay, right. Yeah, we need to get sleep now. Like action stations. This is emergency now. We need to code blue. Get in bed. Uh, go code 3 to the bed. Get
There you
yourself
go.
in there. Get to sleep.
I have blackout curtains on my windows, and they
Yeah.
do a pretty good job.
Mm,
But but it is what it is.
yeah. I mean,
You probably got better weather in England, huh? Than
um,
Oregon. Now, I think our climate's pretty much the same. It rains a lot here.
yeah.
It snows occasionally, and
Yes.
then in the summertime for like 2-3 weeks, it gets hot as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
same
we are
same type of
basically
thing.
identical
Yeah.
pretty much.
Although our humidity isn't very high, like in
Oh,
like
it is here.
Chicago, and oh, it is there.
Yeah, it is here big time.
Yeah, it's not that humid here.
Like when I go on
But
holidays to Greece, I can bear the heat. So 30 degrees over here, unbearable. Like it feels like you can't breathe. When you go to when I went to Greece on holiday, it was like 32 there. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I like this, bearable. I can tolerate it. But yeah, in the UK, nah, just doesn't work. You can't. I don't know what it is. You just can't breathe as easy. It's just the air thickness is just crazy over here.
oh yeah, I drove over the road a long time ago, like 25 years ago.
Hmm.
And I'm so used to being in Oregon where it's not humid. Same with Washington State. It's just the state right above us. Actually, if I look out my window, I can actually see Washington State right across the river. Anyways, uh, there's another hint. uh, what were we talking about? Oh, humidity.
Yeah,
And
humidity.
so I went back east. Oh my God, dog. In New York, it's always humid. In uh, Pennsylvania's so fucking humid.
Mm.
Virginia's West Virginia. Woo! I never made it to Florida, but I saw Florida from Georgia, and man, it is so humid out there. Even down in Texas is like super humid. Bad, bad, bad. I can't handle that.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to Greece on my last holiday trip, because I go there quite, I wouldn't say regularly, but every time I go on holiday, it's to the same place. And we climbed this mountain which had a slightly sus sounding name. It was called Mount Anos.
Mount
And
Venus is that
yeah,
like the sister city for Uranus?
I mean, we'll go with that. Yeah, you could call it that.
Okay.
That's for sure.
But you know, I just heard recently that Uranus is actually supposed to be pronounced Uranus. You know that?
uh, I know people kept calling it that, but I thought they were just doing that to make it sound like, away from the obvious. I didn't know
Right.
if that was
Kind of
the
like,
official thing.
well, this guy, crap, I can't remember his name. He's a professor guy. He talks on Joe Rogan's podcast a lot.
Yeah.
Neil something or another, and he was on Family Feud. I just saw this on TikTok this morning, or maybe it was shorts on YouTube.
Hmm.
But Steve said something about Uranus, and he goes, "Actually, Steve, it's Uranus." So that's where I heard that.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, "Oh, okay."
Interesting.
He's
Okay.
some famous philosopher, astrologer kind of
Mm.
guy, but yeah, it was interesting. Sorry.
No,
Um,
that is, to be fair, because I thought that was always like a parenting thing of like how to stop your child from saying, Uranus all the time and stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, me and one of my mates, we climbed up this Mount Anos, and this thing was bloody huge.
wait, it was a bloody anus?
Yeah, it was,
Bro,
But I mean,
yikes. Were you afraid of were you afraid of all the dicks at the time?
mate, they were always getting me up that cliff. They were always getting me up that cliff. But here's the thing. I think I had a bloody anus after climbing that mountain. Like that was
Yikes.
difficult. That was difficult. You drive up like most of the way. Don't get me wrong. From sea level, I believe it was just over 1,700 meters. So it was quite a
Translate
large.
that into feet.
That's a good question. Let's do that right now.
Oh, by the way, that guy's name is Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
I think it's Mike Tyson's brother. It's not. I'm just making shit up, like I normally do. But you see how a lot of the things that you've said tonight, I can come back full circle and just kind of use those all against you all at the same time,
Mm,
or in some sort of a funny way. I
yeah.
got a sick, twisted mind. I don't know where it came from, or
Okay.
so.
I was incorrect. I said the wrong measurement. It's 1,700 feet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's quite it's nowhere near obviously the biggest mountain in the world, but this island, it's the biggest one on the island.
Right.
And it's
It's no
quite
Mount Everest, but
it's quite steep. Well,
right.
very steep. But yeah, you drive up to the point where I think when you park your vehicle, you are let me think. I think it was about 900 to 1,000 area. So you've got the 700 to go, 700
Right.
feet, and it's
And
a very
700 feet doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when it's straight up and down, dog. Woo!
yeah, like when you say that, if I could show, I wish I had the videos right now to show you, but I'll have to see if I can find them and I'll send them over to you. But
Yeah.
my mate ended up having to record most of it because I was breathing so heavily. Like I'm not gonna be like your David Hasselhoff or anything like that. I'm not gonna be able to run down a beach looking pretty or anything like that. I'm gonna be like keeled over, almost heavy breathing, things like that. I'm not the fittest guy in the world.
You and me both, dog. You and me both.
But these steps I was struggling. Like I'm 6'4", on the verge of 6'5", and I have to lunge to get up one step. So these steps,
You're almost 6'5".
yeah.
Ah, damn. I'm 6'1", but damn.
So
You'd be the only one I have to look up to.
well, here's the thing.
John, hey, how's the weather up there?
Yeah, it's humid, mate. Very humid up here. But
I got this big bag of dicks right on top of me.
but here's the thing, right? I'm on the verge of 6'5". Let's just say 6'5", because it makes me feel better.
Sure.
I have to lunge up one step. I have to like fully lunge, fully extend to get up a step. So
Right.
most people are having to jump up these bloody steps because they're so steep, because they literally they're going up, like you say. They're not going, they're not spreading it out over distance. They're just going up. Yeah.
Like the bag of dicks.
Yes, basically, yeah. And like the bag of dicks, these steps were always getting me. They were getting to me big time, and my mate was handling it no problem at all. He was almost running up them. He was smaller than me, but he's a lot fitter, so he was literally just jumping up on each one, just non-stop. And we found out that this mountain was the one that the Greeks would climb to pray to Zeus. So they didn't have steps back when they done this. Yeah. They just climbed up the mountain. And so we got near the top, and we were like, okay, let's just see what would happen if we were to fall. So we grabbed a small rock. I mean, a rock that you could fit in your hand, but only just. So it was, a decent-ish size. And we weren't going to throw it down the mountain. We kind of like
slipped.
We rolled it down the mountain to see what would happen. We didn't want to throw it with force, because obviously if you fall down the mountain, you're not throwing yourself down with force. You're just going to slip. So we rolled it down.
True.
And this thing ended up almost shattering a fucking tree, and ended up taking hundreds of little rocks and all sorts with it. Like, there was no grip there at all. So somehow these Greeks at one stage had climbed up that to go pray to Zeus and talk to Zeus at the top of this hill. So we got to the top of the mountain, and I've never ever breathed air like that in my life. Like,
Oof.
It was
Plus
so
all the humidity and
it was completely opposite. Completely opposite.
Oh.
So when we got to the top, it was really, really cold. Now when I say really cold, I'm gonna have like either Canadians or people from like the northern area of America. They're gonna say, "Oh, that's not cold." But when you're in Greece and the temperature of the air around you is 5 degrees, it's cold. It is bloody cold. That's 5 degrees Celsius as well.
Right.
Obviously,
when you say 30, I was sweating, and it was 30, mate. I'm like, 30, fuck, I'd be freezing my ass off. What are you talking about?
yeah. So I'm obviously all in Celsius. So that was 5 Celsius up there, but the air was so clear. There was no like pollution, no humidity.
You're above all the bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. There was literally nothing out there at all that could interfere, and the wind was so strong as well. Like, I felt like I was getting blown over. And I'm a guy that's like, obviously, like I say, nearly 6'5", and I weigh a lot. And this wind was strong; it was almost blowing me over. But again, somehow my lightweight, slightly shorter than me, mate, was handling it fine. I've got a massive fear of heights, but the air up there was just incredible.
It's funny you say that. The afraid of heights, because I am deathly afraid of heights. But flying and stuff, I can do that all day long.
Yeah,
maybe not in real
same.
life, but on the game. But if I'm up on top of a building and I get really close to the edge, like up on top of Maze Bank, because that's like the highest freaking point in all of GTA, right?
Yeah.
And just going over the edge, man, I start sweating.
Yeah.
Just trying not to get all the way, too close and fall off, because man, that just it makes me shake.
No, I'm exactly the same. When we go on holiday and things like that, the flight, not a problem at all. Not a problem.
Right, yeah.
30,000 feet in the air. Yep, cool. Yep. But yeah, the edge of something, nah. Like when we were on this hill, on this mountain, like I say, my mate had to take the camera because there was this post at the top, and I was almost clung to this post because I said, everywhere I look around me, I can see the ground. It's like, yeah, what's wrong with that? It's like, I can't do heights. He started to work that out because I started severely shaking, and then it kind of went into a bit of almost like a funny skip moment as we're trying to like climb our way down on the loose gravel and rocks as they slip underneath your feet. He's sitting there like going like, "Oh, don't worry, you'll be fine. Zeus is with you. He'll help you down this mountain that people climb up to talk to him and everything like that." I was like, mate, I turned around to him, I was like, fuck off, Zeus isn't with me. I was slipping, I was shaking, I was panicking.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yikes.
it was tricky. It was tricky. I have to admit, it's something that I'd probably never do again. Not
Right.
anytime soon, anyway. But it,
But at least you can say you traveled up the same cliff as I don't know, for lack of better terminology, the disciples of Zeus.
yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd done the same walk as them pretty much. But yeah, the difference just from being 1,000 feet in the air, which is still a lot, it's still high.
Yeah. Yeah.
From there, when we dropped the car off to the very top of 1,700, the
Yeah.
air difference is ridiculous. Because at the car, it's just normal. It's normal, like kind of humid heat. But then 1,700, clear and freezing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just that 700-foot difference is crazy what it does
Yeah.
for humidity levels and things like that.
Hey, have you ever been to the United States?
Never, but I do want to go at some point.
Yeah. So, speaking of hills, right?
Hmm.
Uh, I went to Alcatraz, and you wouldn't think Alcatraz would be really steep, but when you get off the little boat and you climb up to the prison, bro- dude, it's like this.
Oh,
I was
really?
dying. It was middle of summer. It was so fucking hot down there, and that thing is literally like this. It took me forever. My thighs and my calves were on fire, bro. And it's not even that far up there. It's like, I don't know, maybe a quarter mile.
Hmm.
So it was brutal,
I think people were like
brutal.
trying to escape from that as well.
Oh,
That's
yeah, people have escaped. Well, some of them didn't make it, but well, there one or two did, I think.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
like
it's crazy. But yeah, that was probably the steepest thing. It wasn't as 700 feet. Well, when you say 700 feet, it's 700 feet straight up. It's not 700 feet from where you got out of the car up
mm,
to that peak. It's probably a mile or so, or
yeah.
what do you call them, kilometers?
Out there they call it, here in the UK we call it miles, but out there they call it kilometers. Yeah.
But you guys call it miles in UK?
Yeah, we're different to how you
Yeah,
guys
you
do
guys
things in
are.
America,
Whew.
but in Greece they do things the American way because out there, um, they love the British people and everything like that. However, they learn English like through American style because obviously English nowadays, well, for all around the world, when people learn it, it's now the American form of English, not the British form of English. So obviously,
Right.
like when it comes to spelling things and like in terms of the way people
Like
say stuff
tire
and yeah, exactly. Like
or color.
yeah, so we can when we go over there, especially like we can hit. They're trying their very hardest, and I understand it's not easy learning another language, but they're trying their very hardest to pronounce as best as they can. And you're sitting there,
Right.
you're like, you're Greek, but I can hear American in you. Like,
Right.
I can hear the American. Stop watching those films. They're not helping you. It's not doing you any favors.
Right.
But yeah, you
But the funny
can.
thing is with people that don't, English isn't their first language and they watch all those shows and stuff, you can hear the different characters that they've actually watched, like a lot of old Mork and Mindy or, Welcome Back Kotta. And that's stuff
Mm,
even before my time. You can just hear the different inflections and stuff that they have because that's how they learn English,
yeah,
is by listening to American TV.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. No, it is, and like I say, I mean that's now spreading across the whole world.
Oh,
That's just
100%.
everywhere. And to be fair, I don't think it's a bad thing because I know that there's a lot of people in the UK that are like, "Oh no, that's terrible. They need to know the British form of English." It's like, well, if everyone knew the same English, we would never have arguments. We'd never have issues. So whether it's the British English or the American English, let's just make peace and like be happy that people know English. Like it shouldn't be
At
that
all.
big of a deal. Yeah, like yeah, okay, things are spelt differently, but it's okay. Compromise and just spell it differently. It's not an
Right.
issue. Like you don't have to learn a whole
Right.
new language. You just got to remember to switch the R and the E around or something like that. It's nothing major.
Or right, or take the Y out of tire.
Yeah, exactly. So it's yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
people do well though. They do well for different languages, things like that. But you can definitely tell where they pick it up from. That's for sure. especially when it comes to
Right.
English language. You can tell it's mainly the American shows, which, to be fair, out there, that's mainly what they show. If it's in English, it's going to be an American form of a show.
It's no Peaky Blinders or whatever that's called, right?
Yeah, no, none of that over there. None of that over there. I don't even know if there's many countries that actually even allow that, to be fair.
Seriously?
Yeah, to be fair, you should see the sales figures for the flat caps that they wear.
Yeah.
You should see the sales figures for those.
Probably like quadrupled or more since that show started, huh?
Yes, they
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
through the roof.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now,
Supply and demand. Demand is high and supply might be a little low. So we're going to charge you like probably what, 150 pounds or something for those? Maybe not that
yeah.
much.
Well, I mean, the official ones definitely are pricey. Like the official, I
Right.
guess, Peaky Blinders merch style hat. Yes, they are very expensive. But
Hmm.
if you go for one of the more generic or cheaper makes, then yeah, it's not too bad.
Right.
In fact, you know what? For example,
Uh-oh. Here comes the octopus.
no, for example, I actually have one. I still haven't taken the tag off it though, but I actually do have one. To be fair,
Oh, shit.
yeah, a little flat cap thing.
There you go.
Does the job. I haven't got the little
Little
blade
visor.
there. Yeah, I haven't got the blade there, so it's not a proper Peaky Blinders hat yet. But I still got some work to do to it. But yeah,
Right, right.
we got the hat anyway. We got it. But yeah,
You
I
know,
mean,
I like your octopus hat way better than that one.
oh mate, my octopus hat was that was something. In fact, that's also up there. Hold on.
For those of you that don't know, a while back ago when John used to stream a lot, he would wear a different hat just about every stream. Sometimes multiple hats in the same stream. I think he did a little promo a little promotion where
See, it's
he
not
got
it's not easy with
certain
the tentacles.
right the testicles.
Yes,
It looks like the testicles are on the top, dog.
that does, doesn't it? See, hold
Yeah.
on. Let's eliminate the
Uh-oh,
the
you're gonna
blurriness.
give away all your secrets behind you.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to.
I can see it just fine. Oh,
There we go. Me and my luscious tentacle locks. I'm pretty sure this was actually
like-
bought for me on stream as well. I said I need a new
Yeah.
octopus hat, and this was sent to me.
Nice.
And then
Very-
I do have an octopus balaclava hat as well. It's not up there though, but it had the eyes cut out, and then you had a little hole for the mouth. Except from it had
yeah,
the tentacles
yeah.
coming over it.
Right. Yeah.
So
think
if I
I've
just
seen that one.
lift them up, you can see me smile, and then just put them back down, and it's gone again. But yeah,
You know, at first when you said the tentacles, all I heard was testicles and something else, and then all I can think was the bag of dicks hitting you in the face, dog. I don't know. Yeah.
See, everything's gonna go back to that now. But
Oh,
to be
100%.
fair, that's a solid hat.
Yeah,
I'm not
fucking
gonna
A it
lie.
is.
That's lasted a
So-
long time.
Right. So why is an octopus? Why is that your like your creature, your thing? Why do you like octopi?
To be fair,
Because they taste good.
oh no,
I have no
no,
idea.
no, no. I'd never eat one of them. Never. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. But no, I
It's
don't know.
octopus, not food.
Yeah, they're friends, not food.
Friends, not food. That's a yeah.
But I don't know really. I just kind of one day just fell in love with the animal because everyone has their own favorite animal, don't they? And I was like, well,
Oh, 100%.
I thought, well, one, I want to be different, but two, I also want something that I truly love.
Because
And
they have
then
lots of testicles, right?
yeah, pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah. But it got to the point where I knew more about the octopus life cycle than I knew my own life. So I was like, you know
Oh.
what? I think the octopus is the one for me.
That sounds like a winner.
Yeah, so yeah, I ended up going for the whole octopus thing, and to be fair, I learned a lot about them. There's a boat trip again that we go on quite regularly in Greece, and you actually go out there, catch one, safely in a safe manner. There's actually a really easy and safe way to catch one that doesn't hurt it at all. Which simple as, do you know what a fruit shoot is? Like the drink? Ever seen like a little fruit shoot bottle? just trying to think.
Uh,
Powerade. There you go. Powerade. You know the
yeah,
Powerade
okay, yeah.
bottles.
Huh?
You
Yep.
know they got those lids where you like pull them up and then you can squeeze it and the liquid will go flowing through it, or you just
Oh, yeah, yeah,
lift
yeah,
the
yeah.
lid up
Like a
and
water
then
bottle.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, that kind of thing, that kind of
So you
mechanism.
suck it right through the little sucker hole.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, kind of. More the opposite. So you pull the lid up, fill it with seawater, like this. Take the Powerade bottle for example. Screw the top back on, but have it so you can squirt the water out. You then find one of the houses for an octopus, which is very easy because you'll tend to see like remains of a crab outside, or like shells all dotted around. Like, imagine how, you know, Aunt Penny next door would arrange her flowers and her hedging and everything like that. The octopus treats the shells as plants, basically. That's decoration. So you'll see all these shells nicely placed out around this hole. It's just going to be a hole.
They're landscapers, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's literally just going to be a hole, maybe a slight mound, but 9 times out of 10, it's just a black hole, and all you can see in it is an eye, just one single eye.
Wow, crazy.
And when you like swim down to it, what you'll find is the hole will stay the same size, except from the eye will get smaller because it's trying to get as far away as it possibly can. All you then have to do is squirt the liquid from the bottle, or the seawater from the bottle, inside, and the pressure will naturally push the octopus out of the house without harming it at all. Because
Oh, wow.
the pressure will just slowly take all its suckers off of the walls and everything like that, and it'll just slowly push it out without harming it. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't always work, but 9 times out of 10, if you put your hand out, spread all your fingers, it'll actually like latch on like that, and it'll just clasp. So
Oh, damn.
it'll literally just wrap around because it'll be like, okay, I can hold on to this.
So I know,
Go on.
oh, I know they have really sharp beaks. Does that kind of scare you that they might bite into you when you do that? Because I mean, they got to be able to, bust, shelled animals and stuff to eat, right?
They can bite, and it does nip. I've not been bitten by one before, but I know the scale of
Oh,
pain that it's on.
got it.
And I mean, put it this way, it's more than a hornet sting. But it depends which kind of octopus you get bitten by.
Right.
I mean, if it's the blue ringed one from like the likes of Asia and Australia and things like that, you're fucked. You got about 30 seconds to live.
You're fucked.
Yeah. So if it's got like, I'm talking like, take a GTA color for example. Take ultra blue. Imagine that. If it has rings on its body that are like an ultra blue color,
Right.
run. Don't go near it. Don't touch it. Normally they're quite friendly and they will, but that's just to lure you in. Don't go near it. Keep away from it, because the blue ringed octopus, probably one of the most deadly creatures on the world, in this world. Definitely in the ocean, but on this world, in this world, potentially, it's got to be top 3 at least.
Wow, that's crazy.
But within 30 seconds, that can paralyze almost anything. And even like, one you wouldn't think's that powerful because it's tiny. It could be same size as like this, for example, same size as that.
Right.
And the thing is, that will be enough to kill a human easily within a minute or two. Easily.
So it's like the king cobra of the ocean.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, so one bite and done, finished. The venom in that thing is crazy.
Yikes.
But yeah, if you get bitten by like just an average octopus, like the ones obviously I'm around are either the white spotted octopus, which are not, they're poisonous to a certain extent, but not to humans, I believe. So it's
Okay.
not enough to affect us in any way. You might get a little side effect from it, but nothing major. And then the just typical Mediterranean octopus, which can grow big, but they're friendly. 9 times out of 10 though, octopus are always friendly. They use their suckers to basically taste you effectively.
Right.
So
Wow.
whenever their tentacles are like latched onto you, that's them tasting you, and then you can tell if it's a male or female.
Wait, they're tasting your testicles? Damn.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because
Oh.
Because, well, here's the thing. If
Here we go.
so, when you get it out of its house, if it's scared and you've put your hand up and it doesn't work and it doesn't latch onto your hand, it then goes for the nearest hole it can find, which
Excuse me?
9 times out of 10, and this is a story I was told, by the way. This didn't actually happen to me, which I'm thankful for.
It was a friend.
Yep,
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, it was a friend. So
Sure,
it was
John.
it was on this boat trip that I do happen to go on, and the guy, the instructor that runs it, he told the story, and it always makes me laugh, and I always tell people about it. But like I say, when octopus are scared and the hand thing doesn't work, they go for the nearest hole they can find, the darkest hole they can find. So swimmers are normally wearing swim shorts, right? So this guy was wearing swim shorts. Now, they happened to be a dark coloured swim shorts as well, so they were kind of like black towards the bottom. I think they were like blue fading into black or something like that. So the black was like the bottom half. So this octopus saw a room for opportunity. Darted straight for the hole.
Spoon. Yep, octopus had a spoon.
Yeah, straight for the hole in the leg. Went up the inside of the thigh of this guy.
Wait, time out. Reg just says, "Oh no, not the pee hole."
No, but it has something to do with that.
Oh, okay.
It climbed up the inside of this guy's thigh, and then latched itself on to a certain goodie selection up there.
Oh,
yeah. Now it didn't bite him, but all suction cups were engaged. He said it was a very odd feeling, not something he's sensed before, but this thing was like fully, all tentacles, locked on, and
how big was this octopus?
they're not that big. They're kind of like that kind of thing. They're not huge. But yeah, this thing was like just suctioned onto him, and obviously there's no pain involved in it. It's just a very weird feeling. Now here's the problem: they have to get the octopus off.
Oof.
So hand goes up, and you grab the first squishy kind of thing you can feel, and try and pull it off. So
and it wasn't the octopus.
you've got hope. It's either going to be the sack of the octopus and its head, or it's going to be the other sack, and you got to hope you pick the right one.
Oh,
you know when people put two boxes in front of you, one holds 10 grand and one holds 2 pence, like that. That's the difference here. This poor guy's future children were on the line, and they had to grab the first squishy thing they could find, and eventually they did get said octopus off, but
after 15 tries.
After surgically,
he had a really good time.
Yeah, after surgically putting his balls back on, they then got the octopus off. But no, he got away fine from it. He didn't get any bite marks or any serious injuries.
Yikes!
He was completely fine. He just said it was a very weird sensation. Didn't bite him at all. It just felt safe because it was in a dark place. That's all at once. It just because its house is a dark place. There's a tiny little hole that's no bigger than like a bottle cap that it looks through. So it's used to complete darkness, pretty much.
Right. Wow.
But yeah, we normally like catch those. Obviously, the hand method 9 times out of 10 works. We'll put it on the boat in like this big open aquarium tank, and they'll talk about the life of it. You'll learn about it. I've heard the story so many times because I keep going on the same boat trip, so I kind of know it like the back of my hand now. But they're such fascinating creatures. I mean, the guys get around like crazy because they only live 2 years, and
that's it.
Yeah, for the smartest creature in the world, they have such like a short life. But the male will try and mate with as many females as he possibly can. So the moment he's mated with one, bang, onto the next one, bang, onto the next one. It's just like that non-stop. But
what a lucky guy.
Yeah, the love-making process takes like a few hours.
Oh, damn, that's too long.
I think the way if I remember correctly, the way to tell if it's male or female is the third tentacle on the right. If you were to stretch every tentacle out, the third one on the right, that one, if the octopus is tasting you a lot with that tentacle in particular, it's male. Because that one is the one that sends the sperm into the female. So that's the love-making one. And here's the bit that you're going to be like, oh, okay.
Whoa,
So
whoa, whoa, time out. So they use their tentacle as the sex organ?
yes, it travels down their tentacle and out at the end of the tentacle.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, so if my
Huh.
memory serves me correctly, what will happen is they will sit interlocked. So the female will be sitting there, the male will be sitting next to her, and the tentacle will rise up inside. You know how it has the has a tube that it filters water through, and it can actually
Right.
flip between sides of the head which side it wants the tube to sit on.
Yeah.
It goes in through said tube, like the tentacle, and basically imagine the tentacle is like one of your arms. You're sitting there, and your arm is just inside said person's head. Basically, that's how they stay for a couple hours.
So tentacle
Yep, inside.
in the female's ear,
Yep, boom,
like
like that.
all the way in,
Yeah, yeah.
and
They sit like that for a few hours.
Doesn't
Doesn't go out.
doesn't do
Yeah,
doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything. Doesn't go out.
Just sits there.
Literally, they're like statues. So they sit there like that, and then after a few hours, the sperm will then be released, and then he then has a chance, not a very big chance, but he has a slim chance to run like fuck before she decides to eat him, because
Oh,
they're
damn.
like spiders.
Right. The
so-
women are the dominators.
Yeah, if
Wow.
the male can't get away quick enough, that woman's going to eat that male, because then the female has the hardest part of an octopus's life, which is it then has to find a home, build a big house, not just one of these little hole ones, build a big house, lay all the eggs, which normally hang down in like chandelier-like form. It looks beautiful. I'll send you a photo after the podcast, but
Yeah.
these eggs look absolutely wonderful when they're all set up correctly, and it'll sit there, and until they hatch, it needs to try and survive. So it needs food. So obviously, if it's eating the male, great, that's a good start. But the
Right.
process is so long for waiting there for the eggs to hatch. Sometimes they'll eat their own tentacles, but they can regenerate like body parts.
Right.
So
Right.
and because it knows that, it'll start nibbling away on its own tentacles and things like that, because it knows that it will regrow that eventually. But to keep itself alive, that's what will happen. So eventually the eggs will hatch, and because they're so small, they can't swim very quickly to get away from the home before the mother
Right.
dies, because the mother basically passes away after the eggs have hatched. And
Oh, so
With-
I understand why the females are so angry and go after the men, because they know after they get fucked, they're dead.
yeah, pretty much,
Yeah,
because
I mean, I
all their
can't hold that
energy.
against them.
Well, their last breath, right? Normally, a last breath is like a one-liner in a film, and then you're done. Well, for her, it's you blow all the eggs out of the home, and then that's it. You're done. So their last breath is spent blowing their babies into the ocean.
Oh my,
Yeah.
yikes!
So that's then their last breath. So after that, that's it. Just done, dead in the big home that they've created, and that's that. End of 2 years.
Wow, that's
And if the male's
That's,
lucky,
that's
he's probably still off mating with a load of other females that are getting really pissed off.
wow, man. I couldn't imagine laying there for 2 hours waiting for something to happen.
Exactly, like not even doing anything.
Yeah, just sitting there.
So what's the weather today like, love? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah. Right, I'm bored of this now. Can you hurry up? It's like, well, love, it's not a quickie. It's a long journey. But nah, their lives are short, but they're they're very. I'd say almost like they're caveman. Like there's no rules, and they'll eat and do whatever the fuck they want.
Wow, sounds like my ex-wife.
But I mean,
The first one, not the second one.
oh okay. they're, they're bloody clever things. Though. They're amazing creatures. I watched one guy in America that has one as a pet, and he's had to chain and bolt the lid down on the aquarium and put heavy rocks on it, because the rocks alone wasn't enough, because the octopus had got clever enough to use its suckers it knew it had enough suction to pull the rock off. So it managed to pull the rock off during the night, open the lid, and when the guy woke up, he's like, I couldn't see my octopus in the tank. I look around for it, and it's there on the wall, spread out, like completely like spread, all
Oh,
tentacles
fuck.
spread wide open, right next to the radiator, right next to the
Oh,
heater.
what the
So this boy was
man?
trying to make
Talk
himself
about a
into
whole
early
new,
sushi.
right?
Like,
Talk about a whole new getting your rocks off, huh?
yeah,
Oof.
mate, tell me about it.
Fuck.
And yeah, this guy woke up to seeing his octopus halfway up the
Yikes.
wall. He's like, okay, well, this is not going to happen anymore. So he's actually like chained down the lid because the octopus is too smart. It won't
Right.
stay in.
At least he didn't go for his pee hole or his butthole.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true.
That'd be a rude awakening.
I mean, there are some crazy videos out
Honey,
there,
get
though.
off. No, not right now. Whoa, what the fuck?
Not felt this one before. What do you call this one?
I
But-
think we're gonna have to make excuse me, when octopi attack.
Oh yes,
We're gonna have to
yes.
make that movie like Sharknado, but octopus
Wasn't
frenzy
there?
or something. I don't know.
Am I right in saying there was a big octopus that had a fight scene in some? Was it Kong or something like that? There was like a big King Kong
yeah, it
film or
was
something.
yeah,
Had
yeah,
like
yeah. I
a
think it
boss
was,
battle, so to speak.
yeah, I think it was some big squid octopus type thing. Been a while since I've seen that movie, but yeah, I know what you're referring to. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing a clip of it. And Tropy's asked, "Are these octopus native to one?" No, Tropy, octopus are everywhere. There's just different variants. You got Pacific, Mediterranean, blue ringed, all sorts. But yeah, no, that's. I haven't actually seen the whole film, but I saw the clip of the battle and it looked cool. It looked cool.
Yeah. Nice.
I'll have to check that out. But yeah,
But octopus are very, very, very interesting creatures for sure.
as you can tell, if someone brings it up, I could talk for days on it.
Yeah.
They fascinate me so much. Don't get me wrong, RP and everything like that. It's all nice. Streaming, that's all nice. But talk to me about octopus. Let's go.
Yeah. Talk to me about pussy. I'll tell you anything I want to know. Well, maybe not.
Oh, you can tell.
But
You can tell the
Rich just
difference.
said, yeah, Kong. They're both no. Anyways, it's Reg says, yeah, Kong was the movie, and he ate it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
just like the female mate.
Yeah.
He came in her and she ate him.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, basically.
So that means she swallows then, right?
I mean, she must do.
Yeah.
She must do. I mean, probably hasn't really got much of a choice after being there for like 3 hours, just waiting. It's like, oh, I'm
She's
guessing I'm gonna
exhausted
have
from
to
being
do
so
this now.
bored.
Oh dear. But
Anyways,
yeah, no, octopus are lovely creatures. I absolutely adore them.
yeah.
That's key to my heart. That is. That's why my channel points and everything like that are still pictures of little
Your octopus.
octopuses. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta keep
yeah.
them. I'm not gonna
Yes,
change
sir.
them. I'm not gonna change them. I love them.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But right, well, before we wrap up, because I'm getting kind of hungry.
Hungry. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
I know
4 o'clock in the morning.
I haven't eaten since midday.
Oh, damn.
But
Man, and you're 6'5" and you haven't eaten since midday, dog? What?
I know
You must be starving.
I'm gonna be 4'2" when I wake up in the morning if I don't eat. But no, is there anything that you'd like to kind of say before we wrap up? Is there anything you kind of want to get out there, or anything you got coming up that you kind of want to promote a little bit, or any? Obviously, you promote your socials as much as you like, but are there any like events you're doing, or any cool things like that? Any charity streams or anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I could probably, fill in for Roxy or Diggy and maybe help you out with a podcast or two. That'd be kind of fun. Obviously I'd have to do more research because I already know all about myself. But that would seem kind of fun. But yeah, I just enjoy going on and doing the RP and hanging out with chat and getting to know them and see what things work, what things don't, what is over the line. Because I mean, that's all I do is I'm like Howard Stern of video games, right? I
Mhm.
try to push it as far as I can, but just keep it just back just a tiny, tiny bit. And I always tell people, "Hey, if I go overboard, fucking tell me,
Yeah.
because I'll stop because I don't want anybody to be uncomfortable." I mean, uncomfortable, yes, but not like creeped out,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just enjoy doing it. And like I said earlier, it's a lot more enjoyable while playing to be streaming. One for, people that don't have a computer or aren't able to play the game or aren't comfortable enough with, talking to complete strangers, which is difficult at first, especially when you have no idea and you run into a big streamer or whatever. And, I mean, my very first interaction was with, that guy and Gunslinger, and I was like, and my fucking voice box wasn't working, so Kaylin was the medic that came out and scraped me off the pavement, and, she took me down into an admin room and, um, walked me through, TeamSpeak, and got me, working again, so that was nice. But it's pretty intimidating at first, but everybody's just cool. No matter what server I've ever been to, I mean, yeah, you got your 1 or 2 that, aren't that great, but, the majority of the people will help you, even if they're, serious ass crims and, really cringy and stuff. Everybody's there to help. It's, it's just like everyday life. Well, depends where you're from, I guess, but, uh, if people see you struggling, they'll help you 100%.
Yeah.
So, if you have that fear and that's what's holding you back from playing this game or any other game or anything in life, you can't just, you know, uh, keep all to yourself. Let that shit out, you know? Because if you don't let that shit out, man, you're gonna be miserable. Miserable. Trust me, I've been there. When I was younger, man, I had the worst attitude and whew, it was bad. I was an angry motherfucker. Hardly funny, but super angry. It was bad. But, after, almost 50 years being on this planet, you learn real quick that, you got to, just step outside your comfort zone. What's the worst that somebody's gonna say? No? Big deal, move on. It's not that bad. It's not like they're gonna take your life unless you ask something really stupid, you know? Like, yeah, anyways. Um, but yeah, take a chance. It's, like me streaming. I took a chance. This other streamer I used to watch a while back ago, he's like, um I did something, and he goes, oh, no." He asked me what my Twitch channel or my channel or he followed me. He was my very first follower. I was like he goes, "So when you become famous, a famous streamer, I'm your first one." Like he broke my cherry or something, right? And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I don't think that's ever gonna happen." And then, 3 years later, I started streaming, and well, here we are today. So, like I said, you gotta take chances. If you don't take chances, you're not gonna live life. If you don't live, you're gonna be miserable. I mean, that's probably my biggest takeaway of the whole thing. And if you're depressed and you can't figure out how to deal with it, call somebody. Hell, if you're here, chat me. I'm more than willing to talk to anybody about that. Been there, done that. It's miserable and it's a very lonely place to be. So all jokes aside, there we go. But, yeah, you can, find me on Twitch every once in a while at twitch.tv/rusty_balls. Same with, TikTok. It's, at Rusty Balls. I think it's at Rusty_balls. Yeah, like John said, or JK said, depression is a bitch. Yeah, it's a very lonely thing too. Um, my, handle over on, YouTube, almost called it Yellow too. I have no idea why. Is, at Rusty_balls. Oh, somebody played the fucking bang again.
I could tell.
Damn it, Keenan.
Oh,
This
dear.
time I didn't scream, but, yeah, I didn't know it was coming. That's what she said. After 3 hours is about time. I'm gonna eat your ass now. Yeah. Um, oh my gosh, he just fucked my train of thought up. And these guys do this, and they do this like right when you're in like a serious RP thing, and you're just focused
Yeah.
on it, and they do that, and you've got your push to talk button down, and you're like, fuck, and they're like, what? Oh, sorry, that's just my Tourette's.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? Fuck. You got me. Oh, but yeah, like John said earlier in the description down there, you can click on the more button and it will have all my links on a Koji. I think it's called Koji, like a link tree thing. Click on that and it's got all my stuff down there. So yeah, go to TikTok, go to YouTube. YouTube, I don't have that big of a following. TikTok, it's like, I don't know. I think I have like 1,600 friends or whatever you call them over there. But like I said, I don't do it for the fame, notoriety, anything. I do it because I enjoy it. And I've met a lot of really cool people and made some new friends. Um, my ex-wife is calling me. Um, uh, ignore. She's probably like, "Have you fed the dogs yet?" She's yeah. Anyways, um, uh, link. What were we talking about?
You
This
were
is what
plug-
happens
you
when
were,
you get
you
old.
you were plugging your social links.
Oh
You're
yeah.
just talking about your Twitch and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. My YouTube stuff, I haven't really done a whole lot, but I do have 69 videos on there.
Hey,
Yeah, it's no shit. 69. And um yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, go check me out on the use of tubes. And you never know what might happen. You never know.
indeed, indeed. Well, to be fair, it has been a awesome 2 hours and 40 minutes. This has went a lot better than what I imagined, I have to say.
2 hours and 40 minutes. My timer says 2 hours 10 minutes. Yeah, it must be different in England.
Yeah, but yeah, it must be because mine's been going for 2 hours and 40, and that was only on the starting soon for like maybe 5 of those.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
we've definitely been going long for longer than what's listed on your one.
Oh.
But
So somebody says my counter says 240,
oh, okay.
but on my little dashboard here it just says 210. So
Oh, that's odd.
Eh.
But yeah, I mean, like I say this.
I mean, I had more questions for you, but you seem like you're super hungry and you need to go eat.
Well,
God, this lady keeps calling me.
Here's the thing. Save the questions because what I want to do is I actually want to get you back on in 2 different scenarios.
Oh,
Because when this isn't just like a one-stop shop kind of thing, you're gonna be in more than once. So we're gonna get you on again at some point in the future in as like this setup again. Hopefully we do have a co-host with me. And then that's the other point of view. I also obviously am more than happy to get you on as a co-host for someone else as well. So just have a little think on who you would like to co-host, and we can then approach them and see if they want to join us on here. But yeah, so if you do have any, this is the perfect time because this will give you some time to get some questions up, and I'll obviously do the same for me as well. But yeah, we've got plenty more stuff to come in the future for this podcast, and a lot more people to get on as well. But yeah, it should be good. So what I'll do is we're gonna finish up the first episode of this series, and it's instantly going to get put up to YouTube as well. So obviously, if people want to watch it back, or there's bits that they didn't quite hear, there's bits that they missed, that's fine. It'll be on the YouTube channel. Obviously, the links will be there as well. I'd say it probably won't be up fully, like properly, until probably tomorrow morning for UK time, and probably very early morning for American time. Just because I want to make sure that all the links are in there and all the appropriate information's in there. But it will get uploaded ASAP. I'll make sure that is my first priority tomorrow. So yeah, we will get that sorted for you. And once again, we will see Rusty again on the podcast very soon. Next guest is not confirmed, but we will find out eventually. I'll get to work on it. I was mainly focusing on our night here with Rusty tonight, and we'll go from there for the future. But I will say thank you for everyone that has joined, both in my live stream and obviously in Rusty's as well. Thank you everyone for your support. Obviously, big shout out to John and Lopez for obviously doing everything that you have done for Rusty as well. And
hey, Drake's helped me out quite a bit too.
Yeah, no big.
Yeah.
To be fair, Drake's helped me out a lot as well. To be fair, so there's quite a few names that helped me out a lot as well. There's quite a lot of them have actually popped up in chat tonight showing their support. So appreciate each and every single person that has actually showed support tonight and laughed along with us and hopefully felt entertained by this. And yeah,
I hope
hopefully
so, 'cause if they're not, I'm stopping streaming. Never gonna stream again if they're not happy.
Oh, you heard it here first. So what you got to do is you got to make sure that you're sharing the streams for both channels, and you got to hit the like button on the video on YouTube as well. Because if not, Rusty's not going to be very happy. You heard it here first. So that's what we've got to do. But
absolutely,
from myself and Rusty, obviously this is the end of the first episode now. Just Milking It podcast is just getting started, but that is episode 1 under wraps. So thank you all very much for joining us, and we'll see you again.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Got a little excited there.
We'll see you again on the next one.